Football opens doors to skills that last a lifetime. 1 minute your heart's pounding as you take that penalty. Next minute you've smashed it and your confidence grows with every shot. And you can take that self-belief anywhere, like presenting to the entire school. Football teaches everything from confidence to teamwork and leadership. That's why the Barclays Community Football Fund is giving grants to community sports groups who need it most in London. Find out more at home.barclays/football fund. Barclays, it's all to play for.
Clyde One's Super Scoreboard Podcast with Taggart's Jaguar, part of the Lookers family. One of the largest franchised dealer groups in the UK. The team with the biggest support in Glasgow and the West. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Kick-off fast approaching. Let's quickly go back to Celtic Park and build up to kick-off with Andrew.
Yeah, well, unfamiliar for Ange Postecoglou's Celtic that they'll be behind Rangers at the moment, and unfamiliar that they're coming into this off the back of a league loss as well. That defeat to St Mirren before the international break was their first for a year. They're actually winless in the last 3 games, but the obvious caveat there is that the 2 matches before St Mirren were Champions League matches against Real Madrid and then away to Shakhtar Donetsk. But Postecoglou was criticised by some for his team selection against St Mirren. No O'Reilly, Hatate, Jota, Juranovic, none of them picked from the start. Unsurprisingly, they're all back in from the start today, but with no Carter Vickers and Starfelt. Welsh and Jens did struggle with the physicality of Curtis Main and Jonah Ayunga last week, and you'd expect that Kevin Van Veen, he'll be tasked with trying to play that role for Motherwell today here at Celtic Park. Connor Shields as well, I think he'll be looking to cause problems too, but it will be a very different game. Celtic at home, of course, and ultimately it was just 1 league loss. It was their first in a year. Celtic could just click back into the side that we've seen so many times under Ange Postecoglou, where they're relentless, they're capable of bowling teams over, but Motherwell will try their best to make sure that they put in more of a St Mirren performance that we saw before the international break. But Celtic will be determined to get back to the football that we've seen from them. We are underway at Celtic Park.
Clyde One Super Scoreboard Goal Flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements. Trade accounts available now. Call them today.
Well, Hugh Keevins, you said Rangers would win 2-0. You were the closest, but you were still outdone. 5 big games, so a quick version of the ACCA if you can this afternoon.
Aberdeen draw with Kilmarnock, Celtic beat Motherwell, Dundee United beat St Johnstone, Hibs win away at Ross County, draw St Mirren Livy.
I'm going to go a draw at Pittodrie. Celtic will beat Motherwell, Dundee United will beat St Johnstone, Hibs will win at Ross County, and Livy will beat St Mirren.
I'm going Aberdeen home win, Celtic home win, Dundee United, St Johnstone draw, Ross County to beat Hibs, St Mirren to beat Livingston.
Your pal's apparently on the pitch at Celtic Park.
I've not got a pal.
Hoopy the Huddle Hound. You revealed.
Right. Oh yes, Hoopy.
Early Motherwell corner, by the way. They're the ones that are, so he's not still on the pitch, you should say.
He forced the corner.
I know Celtic are struggling at centre half, but no, just before obviously he was doing the old pictures and handshakes.
Yeah.
And you revealed a few weeks ago that you met the man.
I met him, but I've never revealed who he is. And that's secret.
What happens if he's ill one day? Is there a replacement?
I imagine he's got a really sore mouth ulcer, right? And he can't take part.
He phones me up. I've left my number with him. Anytime you want to phone me, Hoopy, give us a shout. I'll be out there dancing in front of the Celtic supporters.
There was a good response for Derek McInnes.
Yeah.
He comes out, they applaud him, he applauds them. That's what you would expect, Hugh. And now down to business.
Yeah, as I say, the fans can now behave like fans once the whistle blows and starts the game. But beforehand, just show respect to someone who thought so much of Aberdeen. He turned down the chance to join Rangers, the club he had played for, as manager, and elected to stay at Pittodrie.
Right, so that's us. We're underway in the 3 o'clock games. You can tweet your thoughts for the rest of the afternoon at Clyde SSB. We are going to give you the reaction from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and from Robbie Nielsen, so stay right there. You will not want to miss that. We'll take you through all the 3 o'clock action. We'll do teasers, we'll talk nonsense no doubt at some point, probably soon. And the open line will be here later as well. So kick back. It's a miserable day out there. Don't waste your time. Get out in that. Sit back and we'll try and keep you company. No early goals to tell you about in Scotland as yet. We did say that early Motherwell corner, but it didn't come to anything. It was actually a really positive first 15 seconds, Gordon. I don't know if you
we're all over them.
Live to regret that. But yeah,
we're walking them up. But no, you've got to listen. not expecting anything. Motherwell fans going along there in hope, listening to obviously us on the radio, just hoping that they can get something. But no, I think it's going to be a difficult afternoon.
Not a particularly big travelling crowd, whether that is that life is expensive, whether it is that it's a miserable day, whether it's a lack of optimism, or all three rolled into one. Not a huge number of Motherwell fans there. Montrose 0, FC Edinburgh 1, Uzi C. So that is the first goal in the 3 o'clock games in Scotland this afternoon. No doing in the top flight. Let's, before we get anything further, Hugh, just in case anything gets in the way of us, let's get this up and running.
The first half teaser.
With the scottishsun.co.uk/football for the best football news and opinion online.
Jota shot from Maeda's cut back and straight at Liam Kelly. Sorry, Hugh.
Okay. Simple, straightforward question. Name the last 8 players to score 3 or more competitive hat-tricks for Rangers. Who were the last 8 players to score 3 or more competitive hat-tricks for Rangers?
I like that. At Clyde SSB, get all of the answers, put them on one tweet and do it before everyone else. It is that simple. So that's your first half teaser, at Clyde SSB. Now, I'm very interested in an early goal that's gone in England for a couple of reasons. Liverpool 0, Brighton 1.
Whoa.
Now, the grandkids are at Anfield, Hugh.
They are.
They'll be going crazy. I can hear them from here. And secondly, if Brighton can go there and upset Liverpool, can't Rangers?
Well, I said to my grandson that Brighton will soften up Liverpool for Rangers on Tuesday night. They went last night. It's a road trip. Father and son set off from Brighton last night. They've got their tickets for Anfield. They're there, and they will be over the moon. They'll have his Brighton strip on, and what a start.
How long's that journey, Hugh?
Well, they broke their journey in Stoke. My geography's hopeless. I don't know where Stoke is.
Yeah,
but
because I remember playing at the old Brighton, obviously when I was at the Mighty Man City. It was my last ever game, let me tell
It's
you.
a good 200 and something miles.
Yeah, it's a long journey. That's what happened. I was sort of
stayed in Stoke last night, and they're staying in Liverpool tonight.
Not much doing in Stoke.
No,
I
I
think.
wouldn't have thought so.
Have you stayed in Stoke?
Weirdly, yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Alton Towers.
Alton Towers. Everyone stays in Stoke and they go to Alton Towers. Travel Lodge Stoke. Frankie and Benny's for dinner. What a night out that was.
See, I
across
stayed,
the road.
I stayed in the
no.
Alton Towers. You made the right decision.
You've played in the Champions League though, that's why.
But
Can't hide it.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, the cost of the room wasn't up to scratch when you went in and seen bunk beds and.
Oh no. I think I've weirdly been in Stoke a couple of times for some reason.
I've only passed by it.
The goals are raining in down the divisions. East Fife 0, Stirling Albion 1. Robert Thompson with the opener. Mark Wilson, you were giving me very detailed questions about that game.
Did you find out who the manager was?
If I didn't know any better, I would say you maybe had a vested interest in that fixture this
just
afternoon.
interested in East Fife, how they're doing with it.
Bonnie
Stevie
Rig
Crawford.
Rose 0, Stenhouse Muir 1. Matt Yates and Falkirk 1, Clyde 0. Friend of the show, his brother, what a week he had, Stephen McGinn, getting in on the action today as well. So the lower leagues in Scotland not disappointing. Nothing doing in the top flight yet. You do have a full-time teaser there though, so let's see what you've got at Clyde SSB. Do you two fancy your chances at this teaser?
Yeah, I think we'll get 8. I think we'll get up round about the 6 or 7 mark.
This sounds like a ridiculous statement to make.
Not like you.
Rangers might be getting Liverpool at a good time. They've had a very shabby start to the season.
Well, I think you have to be. We're in danger sometimes of going too far one way or the other. You know, you get accused of getting carried away and say, oh, for goodness sake, it's Liverpool, it's going to be tough. But it's look, a very crude comparison. Would you fancy Rangers to beat Brighton? Now I know football doesn't work that way, but there are teams that are causing Liverpool problems this season. Can't Rangers do it?
I suppose they can if they play at the top of
I
their
thought
game.
you were just going to say no.
No,
Flat
well,
out.
I says no the other night, but I suppose they
So
can
why
if they
have
play
you
at the
changed
top of
your
their
mind?
game. Well, look, because I've got
'Cause Brighton are
previous.
one.
No, listen, I've got
I mean,
previous
Brighton are a good
experience
side as well, aren't they?
I've got previous experience of this. We went to Old Trafford at Celtic. Who would have gave us a chance, right? And Man United at that time were unreal, much like Liverpool, and we gave them problems. We went ahead, we got ahead at the right time, gave them problems, pinned them back before half time and made a game of it. No, we lost 3-2. That's not the point I was making.
Exactly.
But we caused some problems. You're right. Look, if Liverpool were battering everybody in sight 5-0 just now, you'd be saying Rangers have absolutely no chance. But Hugh's right, they've definitely been great this season.
I wonder which Liverpool scout got sent to Tynecastle. I hope he didn't have one of those seats in the rain.
Maybe they sent Andy Robertson. Is he not playing?
It's a good point actually. So how is the
He's
fitness
out.
of the gaffer?
Oh, he's resting up just
Is he
now.
going to
He
miss
needs
the
rest.
Rangers game?
Because
That would have been one of the great stories, of course. The Scotland captain playing against Rangers.
He's not even on the bench for Liverpool today, so
doesn't look likely.
He's got no chance of playing.
There's a familiar name as well. It's not only Liverpool that are behind. Chelsea also trailing thanks to an odds-on Edouard goal for Crystal Palace. Not scored that many since he went there, but he has got one this afternoon.
So
yeah, I like the Eagles at home. Yeah, you're right, Gordon. He's not had a lot of starts, but he knows where the back of the net is, and he's obviously got off to a good start today against Chelsea, and that'll give him a lot of confidence.
Right, what's happening here? Right, you talk about a newfound confidence, a newfound status. Ryan Porteous flashes a free kick wide from 25 yards out.
Hold on a minute. He's not been put on free kick duty because he's
maybe
he's international.
Maybe we're showing our ignorance. Maybe we don't see Hibs enough. Maybe he takes free kicks, but it wasn't something I was aware of.
Definitely not. I tell you what, he's rocked in the next day in training. Right, lads, I'm on free kicks, corners, throw-ins, penalties.
With Scotland strip on.
Fair play to him, Well, good on him.
Well, that's the confidence the boy's got. So, yeah, if you're confident, go for it.
Nah, he has taken them before, Davy Friel says. There we go. So, no real excitement there.
I had to laugh at Lee Johnson talking about Ryan Porteous' contractual negotiations due next week with Hibs, because he's out of contract at the end of the season, and he said, I think he's holding all the cards. You better believe he's holding all the cards.
He said we've been underpaying him or something along those lines.
That's music
that's
to your ears,
I'll
isn't
take I'll take some backdated pay if you don't mind.
That is music
Usually
to
your
any-
managers
that.
chief exec, he'll be senior
Phoning him
manager.
up. What are you
You
saying?
need to tone that down a bit, mate.
Roger Hanna says there are strong rumours Ryan Porteous actually drove the Hibs team bus to get up there as well. He's a man of many responsibilities.
He'll have an
now.
apartment in Edinburgh Castle this time next week.
Right, nothing doing yet in the 3 o'clock games in the Premiership. We've got the teaser up and running. We've got goals down the leagues. We've even got stories from down south that impact us, if you like, because we'll keep an eye on that Liverpool result. Rangers fans, I'm sure you will. We're going to hear from the managers at Tynecastle to give you a reaction to that very soon. There's a name we used to hear often up here, Sam Cosgrove, remember him?
Yeah.
For Plymouth against
I didn't know he was at Plymouth. I wondered where he'd went to. There you go, Daz.
Birmingham, wasn't he? A lot of injuries,
Birmingham,
and
yeah.
he's moved. I think that was a late move in the window, I seem to recall. We'll keep an eye down the leagues as well. It's great to have all the lower leagues back. Some brilliant championship fixtures today. Gordon, it's your most hated one though from your time at Ayr, your nemesis in Inverness.
To be fair, at Somerset,
it was only up there, was it?
It was only the
Aye.
away fixture it caused problems. I eventually gave up on it. I just sent my coaches.
It gave up on you, I think.
Yeah. But there are a lot of good games there, as you quite rightly say. I'll tell you what a good game will be. Partick Thistle Morton.
Yeah.
That'll be a good game.
A wee local one for us, Hugh Keevins, in the Glasgow in the West. Partick Thistle against Morton.
Ian McCall celebrating 3 years in the job at Partick Thistle. Does a great job for them, loves the club. For a guy who comes from Dumfries, he certainly loves Partick Thistle.
And that's a great innings, that now, 3 years, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Seen him the other day, Ian McCall, just in the West End, just with his training kit on.
Yeah.
Just standing.
Friday
He was waiting for somebody.
Yeah, but do you not remember his first day at Partick Thistle?
I turned up with the Air.
He had the Air United trackies on.
Did he?
Remember?
Yeah.
I think he had the right top, but he still had the Air United tracksuit bottoms on, and the pictures got taken.
He was just standing in the West End, full training kit.
Listen, that's what the trendies do in the West End. I mean, you're a bohemian in the West End. You do what you like.
Penalty claim for Aberdeen. Miovski claimed he had his jersey tugged when trying to meet a corner. Nothing doing. Did I say he scored? Did he score an own goal for his country during the international break? Either that or I'm having some weird vivid dreams. Actually, is he talking about Ayr?
Yeah.
You know, I've said that you think I'm like, I have eyes and ears on you lot at all times. You know, they talk about managers like Sir Alex or whatever, they would know if players were going out to nightclubs and what they were up to. That's what it's like with you lot and me. I know what you're up to at all times. We've got sources everywhere.
Are you going to finish this with a
Did
story?
you get a selfie with an Ayr United fan outside
know
the
that?
gym this morning?
How did you know
I
that?
told you, don't underestimate me.
By the way, that is. I don't know how you know that because.
Well, that's not important. So tell me the story. There is, and I'm supposed to believe there's an Ayr United fan in Motherwell who stops you for a picture.
No,
How
he was,
does that
he
come
was
about?
going into the gym with lads who was taking a football team.
So they were the visiting team.
Yeah, they were playing actually Airdrie, and he says to me, "Look, can I have a selfie with you? The boys are away
You're just so
because
famous.
they don't know who you are." Right? I says, "Well, get them back. Give me 15 minutes, and they'll certainly know who I am." There's nobody else round about that.
Doesn't matter.
Seen that?
I'm across it all. Do you want me to keep going? Mark Wilson spotted in Zara at the fort yesterday. Am I right? See?
You're right.
What are you doing in there?
Bought a new jacket because it was raining.
I did have to buy a new jacket. It's quite short.
And like any great storyteller, I've saved the punchline for last. Buys the jacket and sticks it in an Asda bag for life. Shameless. Absolutely shameless.
No.
Pay 10p for the bag, for goodness sake.
I get pulled up the day.
Zara ones are made of paper.
I did have an Asda bag.
I know you did.
Who's told you that?
That's not important.
By the way, I get done.
I was at
the-
Asda
I-
just before.
I get done the day. Embarrassing after I come out. Of the
You get
gymnasium.
caught not paying for his carrier.
the wee woman tapped me in the shoulder and she went, "I think you forgot to pay for something there, son."
Oh, that is embarrassing.
I was a pure mistake.
What did you say?
Well, I had to plead guilty.
That's
No,
worse.
you surely just played dumb.
No, because I was.
So you
dis-
admitted that you deliberately didn't
no, I
pay
didn't.
for the
No, I
bag.
didn't deliberate. I was distracted and I was pressing buttons. You know what like it is, and I was too busy trying to get to the cash bit. And the wee woman just tapped me. She said, "I think you forgot to pay."
That is true. That's the way the news reached me yesterday. Mark Wilson in Zara with Asda bag for life.
That's
Right.
unbelievable. I did have an Asda bag.
I can totally get that because there's obviously people going about.
Hold on, I know this is really important stuff, but let me stop you.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
We've got a goal at Celtic Park and it's for the home side. They're trying to go back top and they've started in just the right fashion. It's a Matt O'Reilly header from the centre of the box. He scored a header for Denmark under 21s during the week, so he's obviously been practising. And straight at Liam Kelly, but sort of close range, and he couldn't keep it out as Jota crossing quickly. What did they say about Glasgow buses?
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Liam Fox, first game in permanent charge of Dundee United, and it's not going well. St Johnstone have taken the lead. Stevie May, a long ball, races through in a terrific finish over the keeper. Doesn't score anywhere near as much as he used to before all those injuries, but nevertheless he's put them in front. There's a bit of debate whether Matt O'Reilly's header was eventually finished by Kyogo. So we're maybe taking it off him, Hugh, but I'm not sure Ange Postecoglou will be bothered. It's 1-0.
Ange Postecoglou forecast it in advance of the game today when he spoke about the speculation linking Matt O'Reilly with Newcastle United, and everyone associated with Denmark saying what a major future O'Reilly has and it will ultimately end in the English Premier League. But he has put all of that to the back of his mind and he has been involved in the goal. That's all that Ange Postecoglou needs to know. And Mrs. Fox, she predicted it as well. She said to her husband, "Why do you want to become a manager?" So now she'll be putting his tea in the oven and he'll eat it when he's able to take solids.
Come on, he might be the cook. It's 2022, you never know.
And it's a long way to go, Hugh, so don't.
We did say that though. It's that unique pressure, isn't it, Hugh? The home games, they're meant to give you a better platform, but it can be double edged that way because if you're a Dundee United fan, with no disrespect to St Johnstone, that's these home games are meant to be the winnable ones.
He's got 3 in a row. We had a Dundee United caller on, I believe his name was Stuart, and he said he's got 3 home games. What if he loses them all? And I said that the Scottish fan is a complex fan. What if he wins all of them? But he's now got to come from behind to win this one.
Look at Brighton now, Hugh.
Leandro Trossard's got
told
his
you.
second of the day, and in 18 minutes Liverpool 0, Brighton 2.
I told you, I repeat my statement. Rangers are getting Liverpool at a good time because they have been so far off the pace, it's not funny.
I think Kyogo is doing what every selfish striker would do, Gordon, much like yourself. Antonio Cholak went to the top of the Premiership goal scoring charts. I think he probably has nabbed that one off Matt O'Reilly. I think that will go down as a Kyogo
And
goal.
I don't blame him. I do the same myself, and there's no point sitting here trying to dress up any other way. You're a goal scorer. Even if it's going in, I'm taking the glory. I'm towing that over the line, picking the ball up and saying, well done, Matt, you played a big part in my next goal. But it's going to be a long afternoon for Motherwell now. I think, you go with a game plan there, sit in tight, don't lose anything, early doors. 20 minutes on the clock, you're 1-0 down. Celtic with that pace, midfield quality, everything, fullbacks coming at you, especially after the hurt of the St Mirren defeat. I think it could be a sore one today.
Forgive me for being parochial. I'm trying to think how my 13-year-old grandson, in his Brighton and Hove Albion strip, is feeling right now inside Anfield, visiting the ground for the first time in Brighton, 2-up on Liverpool.
What an unlikely hat-trick this would be. Stephen McGinn's got 2 for Falkirk against Clyde with 19 minutes gone. And he's got a nice long way to go to try and get that third. That would be a collector's item. Steny have gone 2-up at Bonnie Rigrose. Ewan O'Reilly, sorry. Robbie Muirhead scored. I think I've missed one there as well, so I'll bring you up to speed on that. But Celtic 1, Motherwell 0, and Dundee United 0, St Johnstone 1. That's your only action in the 3 o'clock games. Poor decision making from Dundee United there. McGrath into the box, but nothing doing for him.
What were you like as a manager when you lost?
Very good.
No. I've started. I'll do a Magnus Magnus, and I've started, so I'll finish. What were you like as a manager on a Saturday night when you lost the game?
Oh, terrible. You can actually get lost up in it, because I came in one night and I was sitting on the couch and I actually looked out and it was dark and it was 11 o'clock at night and I hadn't taken my jacket off. I was in a different world. It was unbelievable. I was one of the few losses.
Incredible.
One of the few losses
what a story
I had.
that is.
But after
jacket on for 4 hours.
After the cup
40
finals,
degrees.
the cup, I just didn't want to put the heating on. After the cup finals and the semi-finals and all that, it was you would reflect on a good day but disappointed.
Yeah, I just wonder.
Ask Mark.
See, to be fair, I was going to say, see it Airdrie. And I used to call this guy after, believe it or not, after the show. Had to wait till after the show till he was off. He used to always say if it was a bad, just forget about it. Just listen, go home, forget about it. Just think about it on Monday.
If you don't kill the past, you can't live in the future, mate. You've just got to move on.
I'd love to know what book he takes these from.
That you're doing a lot of it, assuming that you think he owns a book.
Yeah.
Well, somebody might be reading it out to him.
I have my own suspicions, but this newfound philosophical approach he's taken to this season. Do you know what I do like about it is you're bringing something new to the table.
Exactly.
Like every player, you need to improve every season. You can't just come here for a new season and act the same way as every other season. You're adding the philosophical.
And do you know something? It's amazing because there's a lad, I don't know, Mr. Tom or whatever his name is, on Instagram trying to give me some quotes, and I'm thinking,
you think yours are better
I'm
than
doing
his?
Okay myself, mate. Just butt out.
Callum McGregor's, no offence if you're listening, Callum McGregor's fired over Jota's cutback. It was a lovely reverse ball from Hatate in the build up. I feel like every goal that's going in down south has a Scottish link. Stefan Johansson has QPR in front, Timo Pukki has Norwich in front. Celtic are in front. Even the former players might all be doing the business elsewhere, but they're having a fairly straightforward afternoon so far, as you would expect, you have to say, Gordon.
Sorry, Gordon, I wasn't.
By the way,
You know why
smell
he's not
of Bonjela in the studio.
All I can smell is Bonjela.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Nah, it doesn't matter. I was only asking you just to catch you out.
You did,
Have you read the instructions on that?
Are you meant to apply it so often?
but it's very sore, Gordon.
That's not what I asked.
I don't know. Do you know what? Right, don't ask me why. When I bought it, I come out, I opened the box and I threw the box in the bin.
How many times
I
have
went
you
down the
applied
road and
that
then realised
Bonjela?
that I didn't have the instructions.
I will say it on the back of the wee tube. Let me see it.
I can't
And I'm
read
not
it.
talking about the wee specky one. I'm talking about the one in your
can't
your
read that.
pocket. Right,
Slow
let me
down
see.
with the application.
Because I know I had my eyesight problems this week as we
I'm
discovered
sorted.
the show, but I've got new contact lenses and we're laughing, so I can.
You tell
I can
me, because I haven't a clue. I
read
can't
this.
read
for sure. My goodness, there's a lot of writing on here. I think you've only to once every once every 3 hours. You've done it about 5 times in the last half an hour.
You better calm down.
Jeez. Now that would be a new low, Hugh. Not turning up for a night out due to an ulcer's one thing, but having to get carted out your work because you've over-applied Bonjela.
I'm just wondering what the symptoms are of overdosing on Bonjela.
I don't want to find out. Ryan McGowan's been booked for a late tackle for St Johnstone. They still lead Dundee United by a goal to nil. Let's check on this teaser, and then we're going to hear reaction from Tynecastle.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Hugh. Every time you go to speak.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
And we do have a goal for Aberdeen. Derek McInnes won't be celebrating this one, but Bizawan got to the loose ball first. There was an attack down the left that then fell to him, and he made no mistake. So not a happy return to Pittodrie yet for Derek McInnes. Sorry, Hugh, on you go with the teaser.
Okay, very simple and straightforward. Name the last 8 players to score 3 or more competitive hat-tricks for Rangers.
Okay, well, let me try and do some of the wrong answers then, shall we? So that we can help people who need the help along the way. I can see Derek is giving it a right good go, as they say. Johnny McKenna thinks that Fashion Sakala is one.
3 hat-tricks? No.
Okay.
I think we need to listen to the question.
Right.
3 hat-tricks.
KP Jer thinks De Boer.
Nope, not Ronald, not Frank.
Stephen McLaren wants to throw in Torre Andre Flo.
Throw him back out
He
again.
would also like to throw in... No, hold on, that one is right, so I won't read that out. Barrington thinks that Dado Purso might be one.
No, he's not.
He also wants to mention goal machine James Tavernier, but is he that much of a goal machine?
No.
He was in my list.
And what about Josh Windass?
Not there.
Okay, we'll do some more wrong answers as the show progresses, so get your thoughts in on that one. The last goal that we told you about, Vicente Bizawan, Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0. And now a penalty, Aberdeen. Oh my.
Oh dear.
How will Derek McInnes
Had a few penalties
take
this season,
this?
Aberdeen.
I did say, Gordon, you'd have loved it as well. Just a wee selfish one for me during the week. You remember that famous day when Motherwell went to Pittodrie, needed to win.
Yeah, Reid.
Last game of the season, won it. Craig Reid, a calamitous goal, and it robbed Aberdeen of finishing second. Derek McInnes, good to see he doesn't hold a grudge. The other day he was talking about going back up there and saying, we finished second X amount of times, and we would have done it again if it wasn't for the referee not doing his job properly.
Did he blame the referee?
I had a little chuckle to myself when he said that. Stranraer 1, Albion Rovers 1. Miovski was taken down by Hemmings. He's going to take the penalty himself.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
He did score an own goal for his country during the international break, but he's at the right end this time. Sends the keeper the wrong way, and Aberdeen are cruising 2-0 up. Bizawan and Miovski in quick succession, and Kilmarnock have a long way back here.
I'm not sorry, Hugh, I'm not saying this because of anything connection with Ayr United, but I predicted Kilmarnock would have a hard season. I think I've got them second bottom. It's a leap, a big leap coming from the Championship, and Derek's brought in a fair amount of players, but I think you've got to hit the ground running.
Gave him a new contract last night.
They have to be careful because they are second bottom, and Dundee United are 2 points behind them. They're bottom. If Dundee United were to come back and get a home win, Kilmarnock will go bottom of the table tonight, which is not good. But I think Billy Bowie and those at Kilmarnock understand that Derek McInnes has a long-term job in his hands here. It hasn't started well. They will be in danger of relegation, I think, unless things perk up. But if he's going to turn the club around, he'll need time to do it.
You know how you need to be, as Rangers found out, you need to find a way of stopping Celtic playing quick, and it's not easy. So what Ricky Lamy decided to do was, when Kyogo went to take a throw in, he just grabbed Kyogo and threw him to the ground, and the referee didn't like it and booked him. So I don't know if that's a tactic that will last very long this afternoon, but there we go.
Well, if he tries it again, that'll be his last one. But look, I'm surprised. I was waiting for you to ring that buzzer. I thought there'd be more goals coming from Celtic Park. Motherwell just need to dig in at this moment in time. they're still in the game. As much as Celtic probably have all the possession, all the play, and most of the chances, but you never know. Set play, just a breakaway, a little bit of luck gets you back in. We've seen it a million times. A team on top can't finish off. All of a sudden you get a wee opportunity to get something. So Motherwell just need to believe in themselves and hang in there as much as they can.
Inspirational. Lovely.
Yeah.
Pipe that into the dressing room at half time.
You think that would affect the players, Mark? I thought it was
a
emotional.
negative
I thought it was from the heart.
I can see why you didn't last it here.
I can see why you didn't last at Brecon. and they're the Brecon in the Scottish League.
Partick Thistle 1, Morton 1. Brian Graham cancelling out that Robbie Muirhead goal. And just when you thought Kilmarnock were dead and buried,
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
it's one of the other former Aberdeen employees. It's Ash Taylor with the header. He's got a couple already this season. Unmarked from a corner. You think Aberdeen would know better. And game on.
Yeah.
Great decision. New contract. Derek McInnes will stay up.
Well, he's fighting, and he knows he's fighting for survival initially, and that's why the long-term contract will give him the chance to build for something more positive. But at 2-1, that changes the complexion of the game, and we're not even at half-time yet, so it sounds like Dave Galloway's actually got a good game to watch.
Absolutely, he does. We did mention Ricky Lammy's gone into the book for Motherwell for being fairly cynical on Kyogo. Let's hear from the management involved at Tynecastle. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, he saw his team win 4-0. He saw Cholak score twice. He even gave some words of advice to Cammy Devlin when he got sent off for a bad tackle. Here's what he said to Sky.
Well, I mean, of course, to win 4-0 away against Hearts, is a big win for us. We started well, the last block for the World Cup. We always know it's going to be a difficult place to go, but I think we started really well, and the first goal is very important. In the last meetings here, we always did it, today as well. Of course, they have to trail you. It was good. Second goal, also great goal we made. I think before that already some good transition moments, which I think we should have scored one or two. And then in the end, we didn't have the right pass or a little bit too much speed. But and of course, with the sending off, you're playing with 11, so it's more difficult for them to press us. And then after that, we controlled the game and managed to score 2 more goals. Apart from his goals, it's very important the way he puts energy in the team. He scored the last game. Also two goals today again, so really happy with him, and also to see Morales and Ryan Kent also on the score sheet. So because we want to improve our chances, we want to improve our goals. So it's good today. Also Alfredo and Ryan were also on the score sheet.
You mentioned the red card. What did you say to Cammy Devlin when it came off?
Well, I mean, it was just before me. I mean, I think Robbie was in battle with his opponent, and he came from behind. Because I really like him as a player. I told him, you don't need these challenges. You're a far better player than he showed today. I think he's one of their best players. Very midfielder with dynamics. So just told him that he doesn't need these kind of challenges.
Here we are, the thoughts of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. You quite interesting, just that little insight into the discussion with Cammy Devlin.
If I was Cammy Devlin, I would take an awful lot out of that, because if the Rangers manager is saying I really like him as a player, then you have to think, well, who knows, one day I might end up there. But Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is telling him, it's quite straightforward manner, you're too good a player to be getting involved in this rubbish. And he has to take the lesson on board. That Roger Hanna mentioned it earlier on. People do like Devlin, but if he's trying to carve out some sort of career as a hard man, he's wasting his time.
Don't know how I would take that if I get sent off and the opposition manager, even if it was in a nice way, grabs me and brings me in for a pep talk at that particular time. I don't think I would like that. So much would be going through in your head at that time. But Van Bronckhorst summed up the game perfectly. By the way, it was as close to a perfect day as you could get for Rangers and Van Bronckhorst, because your striker scores 2, your 2 wide men have a couple of assists, you get Morelos on who scores, you get Kent back in the score sheet, a man sent off, so it makes the game easier for you when you've got the game against Liverpool just round the corner. Ben Davies, you can afford to take him off. You've played him 45 minutes. You get a good look at everybody. So it couldn't have went much better at all this afternoon.
Just a quick update. Nicky Clark's had a header booted clear. Chance for Livy, a mistake by Charles Dunn. Scott Pittman, a wrong answer on last night's Beat the Pundit through on goal, but the low shot was saved. Gordon, your thoughts there on Giovanni Van Bronckhorst?
Yeah, I agree with Mark. I thought it was the perfect day, Gordon. Everything went well, and I think Rangers deserved that right from the first whistle. I thought they were right at Hearts. They pressed them high. They created chances, only for a couple of slack passes. They probably had more chances at goal against Craig Gordon. So I thought it was a comfortable win. I think the substitutions worked brilliantly for him. It was a great opportunity to look forward to Tuesday night as well. So he's leaving Tynecastle a very happy manager tonight, and I'm sure we'll not get any complaints from Rangers fans about the display this afternoon.
Yeah, Dre Wright and Aziz Beich have been booked for a Rami between Dundee United and St Johnstone. So it's a lively one, that. Mark, your vested interest fixture, East Fife have equalised against Stirling Albion.
You're not jumping about now.
Alan Troughton, penalty on 32 minutes.
I like both teams doing well in that one.
Both
teams are close to my heart.
Both to
East Fife and Stirling. I like them.
Hugh, here's the worst but best football stat of the day. I just noticed that Southampton 0, Everton 0. Have you ever heard the likes of the the Southampton starting lineup today? 5 double-barrelled names. Change days. You wouldn't have got that back in your day, surely.
No. I'm Glaswegian born and bred. I was unaware of the existence of double-barrelled names until
5
I know.
in the St John. Why do I keep calling Southampton St Johnstone? Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're still rotten.
Half the outfield
still rotten.
It would help with the word count, though, would it not? If you get a certain.
What about the names in the backs of the jerseys for the fans? I mean, what letters?
Does
by
anyone know?
letter.
Because I know that's become a cliched joke. Do they still charge by the letter? I assume not. No, is that a thing of the past?
I think they would.
Do
Did
they?
you have letters in your thing?
Did I have
Producer
letters
Callum,
in
can
my
anyone
time?
shed any light? Or someone tweet me. Do they still charge by the letter to get a name on the back of the
What
shirt?
respect?
When
So I know
did
people
letters
always
come in the back of the shirts? What year was it?
How old do you think he is?
Well, he's past his sell by.
He only retired about 5 years ago.
Did I have letters in the back?
When did the letters come into the jerseys?
I don't know, but I know
I did love it. See, when I was younger, and
mid 90s, I think.
it was.
Is that about
brilliant.
right?
That's when football was amazing.
Is that when it came in? Would you say, Hugh, Roger?
Mid-90s.
Remember the kind of the shadow numbers, the 3D numbers, amazing. Going favourite strips
Producer
in.
Callum's telling me they still do charge per letter.
Yeah. Well, imagine if you. Yeah.
Oh no, but you don't want folk. I just
Willow.
assumed that was a.
Just put Willow.
Well,
mate.
when Big
NW.
Jan signed for us, I mean, the club were rubbing their hands. Venegoor of Hesselink. The name had to be curved. I think in his very first game, I think he had his full name, and it was kind of
Celtic
curved.
rattle the crossbar, a Juranovic free kick. That sums you up, right? You've put him down for Willow rather than Wilson to save one letter. Every pound's a prisoner.
I'd be Daz.
Anyway,
Liverpool. Come back, Hugh.
Bobby Firmino has scored on 33 minutes.
You've gone too early, Hugh.
Offside.
Oh, we Alex Redding.
I know. By the way,
romping
they're
that.
going unbelievable.
Yeah, first one was a Scotland Youth International that scored, Tom McIntyre.
Yeah.
If I get the name wrong, no, that's right, isn't it? He scored the first one. It's 2-0 to Alex Reyes at Reading. We've got a goal at Celtic Park.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
And it's a goal for Motherwell, who equalise. It's a crazy own goal, one for the YouTube collection. It's Juranovic. He tries to chest the ball to Joe Hart, but he puts it past Joe Hart and he can't get back. He's scrambling, can't get there quick enough. And minutes after Juranovic rattles the bar at one end, Celtic concede at the other, and it's Celtic 1, Motherwell 1.
Well, it's words of wisdom.
What'd I
5
say?
minutes ago.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, and
Just
hang in there.
I mean, the Juranovic free kick was stunning as well and almost burst the net. But Motherwell do go up the other end, Hugh. And sometimes these weird moments happen in football, and this seems like one of them. It's not the type of goal you see anyone concede often, never mind Celtic.
It tells me that the exhilaration factor has temporarily gone from Celtic, because after the game against Rangers, the 4-0 win, everything was about this incredible team and how exhilarating they were. But Paisley was flat as can be, and 1-1 at home to Motherwell tells me it's still flat.
I mean, I get that, but Hugh's a big picture guy, Gordon. At the same time, there's fine margins in football. Juranovic is a centimetre away. Celtic are 2-0 on their way to goodness knows how many, and then a minute later your right back chests the ball beyond his goalkeeper. You know what I mean? Football can flick like that.
Yeah, it's a crazy way of changing. As you say, Gordon, if that's just an inch lower, then Motherwell's day is over. And then obviously got the park, and Celtic help Motherwell back into the game. They didn't have to do it.
I mean, Mark, it's one of them, you know. Every Christmas I used to love getting the DVD or the video before that of the own goals and gaffes type thing. Juranovic is verging on smiling because it's ludicrous. It's an absolute calamity.
It's up there.
You ever achieved that, Mark?
Nothing is. I've scored 2 own goals. We've chatted about that before, but nothing like that. I mean, Gordon, you're right. That's the best way to describe it. It'd be on a DVD for hours.
The bit we'll maybe not know. What is the communication though? Has Joe Hart given him the big keeper's shout that he should? Because it doesn't look like it, based on what Juranovic does. But maybe we.
Juranovic is to blame. Of course, he puts the ball in the net, right? But I don't know what the goalkeepers even think there, because Juranovic is quite clearly getting the ball. It's.
I think that's Joe Hart's fault all day.
Yeah,
all day long.
I don't know what he's doing.
One, he's in control of the situation. He's the one that's shouting, right?
He's facing the action.
Yeah, he's giving instructions. But I can't believe the angle he's run it to try and get the ball. I find that strange. And Juranovic, it's not like
even
it's a
trajectory of the ball. You know, isn't it a big high loopy one? It's almost like Juranovic. Well, it's almost like Juranovic's chest when Joe Hart's running out.
So we've got another goal at Tannadice.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
What was it Mrs. Fox said to Mr. Fox again?
Why do you want to be a manager?
Yeah, Hallberg's put St Johnstone 2-0 up at Dundee United. It's a low cross and a brilliant finish into the corner.
Where is he? Is he under
he's
under
gone,
the desk?
I don't know if that's anything to do with the night out last night or the St Johnstone score.
It's looking a bit pale into the day.
Well, remember, this is the team who are bottom of the league, Dundee United. 2 points from the season so far, and another defeat at home, you know, in the season in which they contrived to lose 9-0 to Celtic.
Motherwell's tails are up a bit here, you know, a bit of territory, trying to get some crosses in. Moritz Jens dealt with one a moment or two ago. And Gordon, of all the footballing cliches, the one that you'll just never escape is that thing about goals changing games. You look at Tynecastle earlier, Hearts are sort of feeling okay about the start to the game. Rangers score and you feel like it's game over. And that one, it's the gift of all gifts. It's a bit early in the year for that type of generosity. And now, you know, I'm not saying Celtic are on the ropes by any means, but what a different game we've got in our hands.
Yeah, that's why I said that you've got to hang in. As much as Celtic are dominating, they hit the bar, they could have put the game to bed, they're on the front foot, they're moving the ball about. You just hang in there, because you never know what's going to happen. Set play, whatever, or a mistake, and that's what happened. Give Motherwell a bit of confidence.
Hugh, let's go for a 2-minute warning, if you like, on the teaser. Just remind me of your question, please.
Okay. Tell me the last 8 players to score 3 or more competitive hat-tricks for Rangers.
Right, we're doing okay. We've got a pretty good response to that, I must admit, on Twitter. Let me try and give you some last minute advice if you are scrambling around, that you've maybe got most of them. Catherine thinks Gordon Jury might be one.
No.
FM Dafty thinks Peter Lovenkrantz might be one.
Not there.
I just wrote LOV.
Jamie Kelly thinks Kemar Roof might be one.
No, the Roof has not.
Nacho Novo?
No.
Right, okay. 2 minutes and we'll round that one up. We will get that over and done with.
I think we've got more scored out here, Daz, than we have actually written down. Yeah, that's a tougher question. You'd think that.
Well, you would have thought Nacho Novo over the years, but no.
See, 3 or more hat tricks that's good going. That's really good going.
I only get 1.
Is that right?
Yeah.
For Rangers?
Prolific. Oh, for Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant in your
No,
career.
my career. That was weekly. That was like shopping. That was weekly.
You pay for your bags back then, or you wouldn't have had
no,
to.
I
Of
didn't
course.
have to then.
Back in the day.
I was just in the old habits.
Oh dear. Anyway, are we going to get any late drama in the first half? I didn't think many people expected us to be poised the way we are at Celtic Park, Hugh.
No, not at all. It was such a difficult end to the league before we broke up for international football, for the Celtic fans who were on an absolute high to be on a downer after the defeat from St Mirren and Paisley. And I don't think, I haven't seen the game, but I don't think that Celtic can be as convincing as they were 3 weeks ago. The mood has changed. It's more difficult for Celtic now. St Mirren and Motherwell ought to be teams who are losing by fairly substantial margins to Celtic. Now St Mirren have beaten Celtic 2-0 and Motherwell are drawing at Celtic Park. Temporarily,
Yep.
something's gone wrong.
I mean, it's the first goal conceded at home in the league this season, Gordon. A game and a half ago, Celtic had conceded once in the league this season, and St Mirren have found two, Motherwell have found one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't read a lot into that, in the fact that the manner of the goal for me,
True,
Gordon.
true.
You know, that's the thing. I know what Hugh's saying. I still think that Motherwell got to be up the park some time in the game, and Celtic have gifted them a goal. Let's be honest, they've not worked for it. They've gifted them a goal, but it gives them a bit of hope. Half time, 1-1. It's a good team talk from Hamill. It'll be interesting team talk from Postecoglou.
Kevin Van Veen went into the book a moment or two ago. I think he's meant to be there as the one to try and, whatever you say, get in faces and be aggressive, but he's crossed the line and he's shown a yellow card.
We spoke about Rangers today in the context of how their performance and result impacted on the Champions League tie to come against Liverpool at Anfield.
Celtic now hit the post. They've hit the bar and the post. They are still level, but it's Hatate from long range. Kyogo then headers it wide, but because of the angle, half the ground thinks it's in, and there's those sort of muted celebrations. But yeah, still 1-1 in that one. But Celtic hitting the woodwork for the second time.
The Celtic fans are looking for something that gives them a bit more positivity about the visit to Leipzig on Wednesday.
Let's do it, Hugh.
The first half teaser.
With the scottishsun.co.uk/football for the best football news and opinion online.
I asked you to name the last 8 players to score 3 or more competitive hat-tricks for Rangers. They are Alfredo Morelos, Martin Waghorn, Lee McCulloch, Kenny Miller, Chris Boyd, Rod Wallace, Marco Negri, and of course Ali McCoist.
There we are, well done if you got it right. Jay McCormick was in third place, Micko in second place, and Shug2205 is the winner. Well done to that tweeter. It's half time at Celtic Park. Andrew McLean.
Celtic won, Motherwell won the half-time score here at Celtic Park, and the hosts looked comfortable in the early stages, but it's all square at the break after a crazy Josip Juranovic own goal. There was some early pressure for Celtic. Jota with a shot from Maida's cut back, that was straight at Liam Kelly though. They kept pushing and got the goal 16 minutes in. Jota's cross found Matt O'Reilly. It was a close range header from him, it was powerful, straight at Liam Kelly. He tried his best to keep it out. It was maybe still going to cross the line, but like all good strikers do, Kyogo was there, he slid in and made sure that it hit the back of the net for 1-0. Callum McGregor then fired over before Josip Juranovic rattled the crossbar from a really well struck free kick, and those are the fine margins in football, because it was then a moment of madness between him and Joe Hart at the other end that levelled things up. Juranovic attempting to chest the ball back to his goalkeeper, clear miscommunication as Hart wasn't where Juranovic thought he'd be, and the ball trickled over the line despite Hart trying his best to stop it. Celtic nearly took the lead again just before the break. It was Rio Hatate's shot from about 25 yards out. That one hit the post. Kyogo rushed in with a follow-up header, but that one went just wide. But half the ground were already celebrating. They thought that Kyogo header was in. But it is a crazy moment in this game that has changed the complexion of it going into half-time. The score at the break, Celtic 1, Motherwell 1.
Yeah, half-time scores pretty much everywhere in the top flight at the moment. I think Ross County was first. Roger Hannah
Yeah, Ross County 0, Hibernian 0 at the break. Hibs have had much the better of the first half, and led unsurprisingly by the midweek Scotland hero Ryan Porteous. He first of all flashed a free kick just off target early on after a trip by Ben Payton and Martin Boyle. Then he had another effort, this time on target from fully 30 yards, and it required a terrific save by Ross Laidlaw to tip the ball over. Marian Cabrera, he also tried his luck from distance, but he flashed it way over the stand at the jail end as Hibs pushed forward. County rarely seen as an attacking threat, although David Marshall did have to come off his line and spread himself to make a decent save from the recalled Owura Edwards Owura in a rare County attack. But it was back in the front foot for Hibs towards the end of the half. Martin Boyle, he sent a delivery from the right across the 6-yard box, no takers there. Then Mikola Kukarevic, he had a header off target at the back post. Laidlaw had to make a save from a Paul Hanlon header, and then in the last act of the first half, another header in the County box, this time by Joe Newell, just off target. Lee Johnson's side really should be ahead of the break, but it's Ross County 0, Hibs 0.
What about Paisley, Fraser Wishart?
St Mirren 0, Livingston 0, perhaps not a surprise. It'll be a short report, really poor fare so far, just as well. It's multi-ball these days because if it was only one ball, it began an absolute battering today. The ball being kicked from back to front, then a fight for scraps and a battle in midfield, free kick after free kick, tackle after tackle, and the closest to a goal came from a cross in 2 minutes. Joel Newbley on the left hand side whipped in a cross. It was caught by the wind as it blew it towards goal. Trevor Carson had to move smartly to tip the ball over. The wind, that was causing problem. Then swinging Scott Tanzer, corner held up in the wind. There's a weak punch by Shamal George. It fell nicely to centre back Alec Goggy, but he volleyed well wide and he scuffed his shot. Dylan Bambula, wing back today, came close to the opener, made a yard in the 18-yard box and just shot across goal, but it was a couple of yards wide. But generally scrappy, both teams giving the ball away. Conditions not helping, and a mistake by Charles Dunn led to the best chance of the half. Scott Pittman was then 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, but his weak shot was saved by Trevor Carson. Should give the goalkeeper credit, but I think Pittman should score, and that was it for chances. A wee spell of pressure in the final seconds for Saints, a few corners, a penalty claim for handball, but one shot on target in the first 45 minutes by either side. I often say in these circumstances, the only positive is that the second half can't be as bad as the first, surely. Half time here, St Mirren 0, Livingston 0.
Now there was a late goal at the end of the half at Pittodrie. Are Kilmarnock back in it, or have Aberdeen stretched their lead, Dave Galloway? Oh, wait, the suspense we're building up there. Where have we not been Tannadice, David Friel?
Half time, Gordon. Dundee United 0, St Johnstone 2, and as you're saying, Liam Fox must be thinking his wife was right to ask why he wanted to become a manager right now. Dundee United are trailing 2-0 at the break. Stevie May and Melker Hallberg scoring for St Johnstone. This certainly wasn't the start Fox wanted in his first game as manager, and it's a long way back for United in this evidence. St Johnstone took the lead in 15 minutes as the United defence fell asleep. Andy Considine played a simple ball over the top and Stevie May was unmarked, able to run clear through and goal. There was still a bit of work to be done, but May stayed calm to lift his finish over Carl Johan Eriksson. Nicky Clark fired over from 20 yards. St Johnstone looking for a quick second. Up the other end, United's final ball let them down far too often. Stephen Fletcher did have a chance with a header from a corner, but Stevie May was in the right place to clear off the line, and then May then made an impact up the other end in 40 minutes with a brilliant low cross for Hallberg. St Johnstone midfielder buried his shot into the corner to make it 2-0. United were booed off by their own fans at half time, and Liam Fox is a big half time team talk ahead of them. Half time, Dundee United 0, St Johnstone 2.
Spoil Dave Galloway's fun before we go back to him. Aberdeen did score. It's Aberdeen 3, Kilmarnock 1. We'll go back there next and a full roundup of the scores as well.
The winning team all season long. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
The only half-time report we've still to bring you is Pittodrie. Dave Galloway.
Aberdeen 3, Kilmarnock 1 at half-time. Both sides were playing some pretty decent football, but neither keeper was being troubled. However, that all changed, and then some, with 3 goals in quick succession. Aberdeen went ahead after 22 minutes. Hayes attacked down the left, and from his cross, Taylor's clearance was pounced upon by Bissaouen, who drilled home. It was 2-0 on 24. Hemmings brought down Majowski. He dusted himself down and sent the keeper the wrong way from the penalty spot. But slack defending allowed the visitors to pull one back. Only 3 minutes later, from a corner kick, ex-Don Taylor, unmarked, guided his header into the net. The end-to-end action continued. Shaw missed a great chance to equalise for Kilmarnock following Taylor's long throw, and Aberdeen's Majowski wasn't far away with a turn and shot from just outside the box that flew over the bar. The home team, though, made it 3-1 in the 45th minute. The impressive Majowski with a close-range dink into the net to put the seal on a very entertaining first half here in the sunshine at Pittodrie. It's Aberdeen 3, Kilmarnock 1.
Half-time scores then. Well, full-time result first of all. Hearts 0, Rangers 4. At the break, Aberdeen 3, Kilmarnock 1. Celtic 1, Motherwell 1, Dundee United 0, St Johnstone 2, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 0, Livingston 0. In the Scottish Championship, it's Ayr United 0, Inverness 0, Cove Rangers 2, Arbroath 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Dundee 1, Partick Thistle 2, Morton 1, and Queen's Park 0, Raith Rovers 0, Dunfermline 0, Peterhead 0. In League 1, it's Falkirk 2, Clyde 0, Kelty 0, Airdrie 0, Montrose 1, FC Edinburgh 1, and Queen of the South 1, Alloa Athletic 0. In Scottish League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stenhousemuir 2, East Fife 1, Stirling Albion 2, Elgin City 2, Annan Athletic 0, Forfar 0, Dumbarton 0, and Stranraer 1, Albion Rovers 1. In the English Premier League, it finished Arsenal 3, Spurs 1, and at the break it's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Palace 1, Chelsea 1, Fulham 0, Newcastle 3, Liverpool 1, Brighton 2, and Southampton 0, Everton 0 the second half. The Super Scoreboard podcast is sponsored by Taggart's Motor Group. Taggart's have Jaguar, Land Rover and Volvo showrooms across Glasgow and the West, so you can find the new or used approved car that's right for you. And as Taggart's are part of the Lookers family, one of the largest franchise dealer groups in the UK, you can browse thousands of nearly new and used vehicles in stock nationwide to find your perfect vehicle. They've also launched Click and Sell. It makes selling your car simple by using their trusted dealer network of over 150 sites. Why not give it a go today? See how much you could make on your old car. Taggart's have Land Rover showrooms in Motherwell, Darnley and the north of Glasgow, with their Jaguar and Volvo showrooms found in Hillington. Check out taggarts.co.uk to get your new or used approved Land Rover, Jaguar or Volvo today. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Football opens doors to skills that last a lifetime. 1 minute your heart's pounding as you take that penalty. Next minute you've smashed it and your confidence grows with every shot. And you can take that self-belief anywhere, like presenting to the entire school. Football teaches everything from confidence to teamwork and leadership. That's why the Barclays Community Football Fund is giving grants to community sports groups who need it most in London. Find out more at home.barclays/football fund. Barclays, it's all to play for.
Compare cheap car insurance quotes that really do cut the mustard at mustard.co.uk. Details online, authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Next.
The fastest goals, the expert opinions. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Second halves have only just started, and already we've got one of these.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
And when things are going your way, things are going your way. Who has opened the scoring for Hibs?
Ryan
Porteous. A left-footed shot past Ross Laidlaw. The throw-in from Joe Newell wasn't cleared, and Ross County 0, Hibs 1 just after the restart. Ryan Porteous, what a week that man is having.
And what a week he'll have next week too, because that's when he discusses his new contract with Hibs and he can just name his price or they can prepare to lose him. So if he doesn't do the lottery tonight, he's a very foolish young man.
That's sensational, eh? What a week for him. You cannot write that. Well, did you allude to it? Something about Ryan Porteous and all eyes been on him on Thursday night, and there you are, a goal.
Brilliant, and the fact that he's a centre half as well, you wouldn't imagine him getting a goal this afternoon. But as you say, when things go right for you in any sport, it just seems to go and go and go. And Hugh's correct. I would love to be in his position round the negotiating table.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't score many. It's his first of the season. It's only his fourth league goal. His ninth league goal ever for Hibs in over, well over 100 games. So he's done well to get that one this afternoon. And I can just imagine Liam Fox. He's in there. It's his first team talk as a permanent manager, and he's trying to get a bit more urgency from his team. Go out there, get in the faces, and Ian Harkes comes straight out and gets booked for a late challenge on Adam Montgomery. So still 2-0 to St Johnstone at Tannadice, 1-0 to Hibs at Ross County, and the rest of the games are as you were, because we've only just restarted. So Celtic 1, Motherwell 1. How big a half is this coming up, Hugh?
Huge, because it will only cause the Celtic supporters to wonder what has happened since the game against Rangers. I fully understand that it's easy for Real Madrid, the champions of Europe, to win at Celtic Park. Even though Celtic are a good hour, Real won. That's understandable. Shakhtar Donetsk, Celtic should have won but did not. That can happen. St Mirren should not have happened. Now, since the Rangers game, then it means 2 losses, 1 draw. If it were 2 losses, 2 draws, that wouldn't be good. If it was 2 losses, 1 draw and 1 defeat, that would be even worse.
2 losses and 1 defeat.
No,
3 losses.
No, if Motherwell win today, Celtic would then be looking at 2 losses,
1 defeat,
1 defeat, 1 draw.
A loss and a defeat is the same thing.
Let me work this out now. Real Madrid defeat, Shakhtar Donetsk draw,
2 losses,
St Mirren defeat. If Motherwell were to win, 3 defeats.
Yes,
1
got
draw.
there. You've been hanging up. Do you know what? It's your fault. You've dragged him down. He's been hanging about with you too long.
The poor man's not had his half-time pie.
What happened to the pies, by the way?
He's all over the place today.
Have they let you down on the pie front?
Yeah.
Tommy's rumbling.
0-0 Inverness 1. Cameron Harper with the goal. I suppose the only thing, Hugh, this has been result-wise so far similar, but this has been different to the St Mirren game. Even the most optimistic Celtic fan that day, you couldn't have made a case for Celtic deserving to win, really.
No, not at all.
Against St Mirren, ball possession aside, but today they've rattled the post, rattled the bar, and gave away a ridiculous goal. And don't get me wrong, that'll count for absolutely nothing if they don't go on and win the game, but it's maybe not quite the same type of game as that one, is it?
No, but the final result is all important, Gordon, because Rangers have done very well today, have won emphatically. Cholak has scored, and also Ryan Kent and Morelos have scored and looked good into the bargain. Celtic simply need to get through this afternoon with a win. Otherwise there'll be a bit of unhappiness here 5 until 6 o'clock, because the Celtic supporters will not be happy with a home game against Motherwell where you're looking to avenge what happened against St Mirren and you don't win it.
Absolutely. Joe Aribo, remember him? I told you, every scorer down south has got a link up here, it seems, today. He's scored to put Southampton 1 up on Everton. Actually a really dangerous Motherwell corner to get a couple of minutes into the second half, right across the face, no takers, and a bit of a heart and mouth moment for the Celtic fans behind the goal. Bonnie Rig Rose, that team talks worked. They've pulled 1 back, still trailing Steny 2-1 in Bonnie Rig. Anything else doing at the moment? I don't think so, which means, Hugh, let's do this.
The second half teaser
with the scottishsun.co.uk/football for the best football news and opinion online.
I have played alongside George Alberts and El Hadj Diouf. I've been managed by Roy Hodgson and Felix Magath. I played at 2 major international tournaments with my country. I also played outfield for 4 clubs in the UK over 12 seasons but didn't score a single goal. Who am I? So, played alongside George Alberts and El Hadj Diouf. Been managed by Roy Hodgson and Felix Magath. Played at 2 major international tournaments with my country. Played outfield for 4 clubs in the UK over 12 seasons but didn't score a single goal.
Oh, good question. Right, at Clyde SSB, just send us that person's name, and if you do it quicker than everyone else, you will win it. It's that simple. If you want to see all that information written down, because there is a lot to get through, the question is also published there on the Twitter feed at Clyde SSB. Another big chance missed by Kilmarnock, a Roos error. Roos is Dutch, by the way, if you listened to last night's Beat the Pundit. Marvin Bartley has been kept up all night on that one. He produced the error, Doige pounced on it but couldn't score. Went for a corner. United now probing Dundee United, but St Johnstone defending well and 2-0 up. You two, any early guesses at that?
Yeah, we went well
at that teaser.
Nah,
no, it's not that.
I went him.
I think we're in the right sort of a line with that.
Aye.
Not really.
Okay.
No?
Nah.
Okay. Scrub that out.
Okay.
Not in particular. I mean, based on
right club. Played by right club.
What, up here?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
there you go. So we're in the right line.
No, in fact, no, it's not.
No,
oh, really? It's not.
Oh well.
Oh no.
Having a nightmare with that, man.
Oh dear. How are the ulcers after the break? I noticed Wells Hughes tucking into his pie. You've gone for some yogurt over there in the corner.
Yeah, a little bit of yogurt, protein, and some fruit, Gordon. Not like these boys here. I see Wilson there just having a nice steak pie there. He's got to fill his face.
Still okay. You've now applied the Bonjela about 10 times.
Yes, it's nice. 4:45 will be in my next
application, I think is the word you're looking for. Joe Hart is receiving treatment.
Okay,
He's
I'll be
collided
that
with Barry Maguire at Joe Hart, so he's receiving
he's getting
treatment
stuff
there.
applied.
Golden chance Livy Obalai heads wide from 6 yards. Marcus Martin, Marvin Bartley won't be happy with that. Your old pal, the poet Curious Creatures, is inspired by your ailment. He says, when Daz went down the chemist's asking for some soothing cream, they gave him some Bonjela, therefore nothing too extreme. He went back down the chemist, he gave them quite a scare, as they had to quickly tell him, you do not apply it there.
I would tingle.
Anyway. And after Hughes' slight misdemeanour there, we forgive him because he's hungry. Comfortably Dumb says, did Hughes' arithmetic get stranded in Italy too? But the big news this week is
Chizzy the courier brought the case back home.
Is it back?
It's back.
11 days after I get back home, the case came back home.
11 days? That's some... Where has it been?
You would think that was gone, wouldn't you?
I thought it was gone.
I met Chizzy the day after he heard these mentioned. He was absolutely delighted, and he said that they're all fuming at DHL because I didn't mention everybody there. So other couriers are available, but well done the DHL crew.
Well done. 11 days later. Well done.
No, but they source it. They're the one, I don't know if it was their fault for losing it in the first place. I don't know.
I'd have had the insurance claim in before that here.
Right, so let's be absolutely clear about this. After beating Rangers, Celtic lost to Real Madrid, drew with Shakhtar Donetsk, lost to St Mirren, and are currently drawing with Motherwell. The airs come out the balloon, in other words.
Oh, right, okay.
I thought he was going back to 2 losses.
I know, so 2 losses and a defeat. Well, the airs come out of Joe Hart's lungs temporarily because he get. Do you know what? Actually, maybe not. I think it's more of a. Oh, by the way, I think Joe Hart took a sore one on the side of the head by all accounts. Andrew McLean now describing he is back on his feet and playing on. So, but you have to, I guess, be careful with certain types of head knocks. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah. Yep.
Could you have put more steak pie in your mouth at that point?
Never, honestly.
I've never seen that.
Hamster cheeks here.
I thought
the winter was coming.
It was a new Jaws movie out.
Pretty hungry. What were you saying? Sorry,
never mind.
Had steak pie in my ear.
It just sounds like Joe Hart took a bit of a kind of glancing blow to the side of the head, which knocked him off his feet. And we saw Kieran Tierney, for instance, against Republic of Ireland. You don't take too many chances, and if they've got a head knock, they sometimes need to come off. But he seems to be okay.
Yeah.
And on he goes. Stephen Fletcher down injured, off he goes. Tony Watt has been brought on for Dundee United as they try and get back into this one, and they need to.
Very much so. Tony Watt still stuck on 1 goal for
really
Dundee
for
United.
him, Hugh, is it?
1 goal since he left Motherwell. The composite picture at Tannadice is not good. Bottom of the league, 2 points, and Tony Watt not scoring. Stephen Fletcher off again. Nothing going right.
Southampton Everton's a bit of a cracker there. There's 3 goals in the space of a few minutes. But more interestingly, Bobby Firmino, Hugh, he's got 2. Liverpool have got 2, and it's 2-2 against Brighton. So I don't know what that does to the grandchildren's mood and what it does for Rangers' thoughts ahead of Tuesday.
This is when you have to explain to them that football's like that, and then they tell you to get knotted at the end of the conversation. So Liverpool at 2-0, I honestly thought they are just having such a bad start to the season, but now they've clearly regrouped, and they need the points against Rangers, and that they'll be a different animal come Tuesday night.
Stevie May's now curled one and hit the bar, almost 3-0 to St Johnstone. Fans are not that patient anyway, but on day 1 of your permanent posting, you would give Liam Fox a bit of leeway. I'm not sure that leeway extends to a 3 or 4-0 defeat, Hugh, so it's 2 at the moment.
Everything about the club at the moment is wrong. They spend too much money on wages as opposed to the kind of money they bring in. They sack managers willy-nilly. The team on the park is not delivering, and in the season in which they have lost 7 to AZ Alkmaar and 9 to Celtic, I feel for the Dundee United fans.
Yeah, I'm sure they would say all is not lost. 4th last season, got into Europe before it went wrong. Good recent record of giving youth a chance and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's clearly not a good time at the moment. Partick Thistle 3, Morton 1 now, so it should be points in the bag, or heading that way. Aaron Muirhead scoring on 55 minutes there. Still Celtic 1, Motherwell 1. No real big chances for Celtic in the second half yet. St Mirren goalless against Livy. Ross County 0, Hibs 1. Ryan Porteous, of course. Dundee United 0, St Johnstone 2, and Aberdeen 3, Kilmarnock 1. So some good games out there, lots of end-to-end stuff. Dave Galloway's enjoying that one. At Pataudry says it's a really good game. Let's hear a bit from Robbie Nielsen, shall we? He lost 4-0, or his team lost 4-0. Not a lot went to plan. They got Cammy Devlin sent off. This was his take on it all when he spoke to Gabriel and others after the game.
A man sent off after 30 minutes, so you play against good teams. If you do that, you leave yourself 60 minutes to play against 11 men. It can be very, very difficult. You know, it was a disappointing thing today. I thought that we lost a goal very early. We responded. The final moment wasn't quite there for us today. We got into good areas, didn't quite take it, but ultimately the red card kills it.
What was your view on the red card?
Yeah, I think it's a red card. You know, I think, you know, could the referee handled it differently? Maybe, but you know, I've given him an opportunity to send him off, and I can't really argue with it.
Have you spoken to Cammy? How's he?
Yeah, I've spoken to him. He's disappointed. He's let the team down. Knows that. You know, Cammy he's been fantastic from day one. Just gets out of the national camp, so you get to do well. Energy, athleticism, aggression, but there's a line. You know, there's areas as well of the pitch that you don't need doing it. You know, and hopefully they'll live and learn from it.
Do you apologise to the other players?
Yeah, it does, but hey, it's done. We've all been there and sent off a few times. I think everyone has. You know, the only thing you can ask is that you learn from these experiences. He's not come off the ground, he's not really getting pace, but he's given the ref an opportunity. He's come in from behind and he's came down on it. You know what I mean? You know, these things, you're playing against dual firm, you can't give the referee an opportunity to do that, because you know that it's probably going to end up in a red card. So that was a disappointing thing that we let ourselves down today. I actually thought we were doing quite well. You know, we were in the game, we were creating chances. That final moment wasn't quite there, but after the red card, it changes the game totally. And to be honest, the guys that stayed on second half, we changed their shape a wee bit. We contained them. You know, I think Rangers took the foot off the gas a wee bit and we created a couple of chances. But you know, two things today: the red card and also the final moment for us. We just didn't have it today. That final pass and final decision making.
I honestly don't know what he's talking about. I said that I hoped that he wouldn't say anything ill-advised. He just said something ill-advised. His question is, could the referee have handled it differently? Maybe. The only way the referee could have handled it differently was not to send off Cammy Devlin. Therefore, if Robbie Nielsen then follows that up by saying there's a line that you can't cross, and Cammy Devlin crossed it, and then adds you live and learn, in what way can the referee handle it differently?
Yeah, I get a bit of sympathy. Sometimes managers say a lot of things, right, and Hugh's the wordsmith and he's picked out the individual words fine. Overall, Robbie Nielsen doesn't have any complaints about the red card, does he?
No, and he's admitted
and
that.
I know what Hugh's saying. That bit in there's a bit strange, but you know, overall, he's not saying that shouldn't have been a sending off.
No, he's a man that's come out. He's just watched his team being well beaten. He's had the disappointment of going down to 10 men. He openly admitted it was a red card. There's not a problem. Yes, we all sort of looked at each other when he said the referee maybe could have handled it differently. I agree with you. I don't know what you could have done differently apart from not sending them off. But sometimes as a manager, you just get caught up in the moment. I wouldn't take too much out of it. I think he knows he was well beaten, he accepts that, and he has to move on.
Alex Grieve and Ryan Strain are coming on for St Mirren. Alex Grieve eventually back. He took a while to get back from international duty, according to Stephen Robinson. Alex Gogic and Greg Kilty off, but it's not been a great game, that one. in Paisley. Wonder if we're thinking about Celtic changes, Mark, because we said that sometimes you're fine margins, luck, call it what you want, hit the bar, hit the post, it's a ridiculous goal to give away. But now we're past the hour mark and Celtic are not really looking likely to take the lead. In fact, it looks like Abada and David Turnbull are getting ready to come on.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to change things up and hope for a better outcome, because there's nothing wrong with certain aspects of Celtic's performance. They've created plenty, they've hit the woodwork a couple of times, but it just isn't happening. So sometimes you just need to bite the bullet and say, look, might get something off Turnbull from the edge of the box, or Abada at the back post that Maeda or whoever else is going to come off, or Riley maybe.
Maybe I'm splitting hairs here, right? So it is a possibility. Have they created enough? Because one's a free kick off the bar, another one's just a strike from sort of 30 yards. In terms of what we're used to from Celtic, have they have they cut Motherwell open enough?
Goal.
Yes, Dan.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
This one was from outside the box as well, though. Reo Hatate, the other one that hit the post, was just getting his sights set. He finds the bottom corner this time. I don't know if he's the one that was about to be withdrawn to be replaced by David Turnbull. If he is, it's a good last involvement for him. Celtic 2, Motherwell 1. Reo Hatate from outside the box.
You've been hanging around with me for too long.
Was that not the perfect time to use that 8-second delay button?
Without boring anyone with the details out there, this show's not in delay at the moment.
Oh, right.
There you go. Any radio geeks out there will like that, because we're not taking calls. So the theory is you're meant to be able to trust you three with what you say.
So it was you.
See what happens if you swear.
Could you have handled that differently? Maybe.
Good time to score for Celtic though, because
it was O'Reilly gone off anyway. There we are.
Yeah, after the hour mark, nerves do start to creep in. You're right. Celtic hadn't really created that much.
That's the thing. Like, we have a bit of a laugh. It was still true what I said. It's not like they had up to that point.
They scored the goal. They hit the bar. You're right. Free kick, the post. I suppose McGregor's was the glaring opportunity. But not their free-flowing best. You would say.
Goal elsewhere.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Getting a bit ugly for Kilmarnock, getting beautiful for Aberdeen. It's now 4-1 to the Dons. Derek McInnes will be wanting to get out there pronto. It's a diving header from Stewart, and that adds to what's already been a really tough afternoon for Kelly. It was a corner initially, came across, diving header, and 4-1 Aberdeen.
Well, here we have the strugglers beginning to emerge. Dundee United struggling horribly. Kilmarnock not much better, and Ross County, the bottom three teams, are showing signs of distress in the first quarter of the season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I know it's really early in the season, but you just don't want to get too detached from everyone round about you, and it's a badging. Good result, great result for Aberdeen, right enough, because it's been a wee bit stop-start still for Jim. I know he had a good result a couple of weeks ago, but dependent on red card, I'm pretty sure was at Smirren. So this one's pretty emphatic this afternoon.
It's a really good strike, Reo Hatate. I mean, it's not too dissimilar to the one in the first half. And if you're Motherwell, you'll always look at, can you get there quicker, can you shut him down? Cornelius, I think it is, Gordon, is almost on him by the time he shoots. Maybe as a midfielder you can do more, but there's no point in taking anything away from the quality of the strike. No,
I don't blame that. I know what you're saying about midfield players getting closer, but it needs a bit of quality to hit the back of net from there, and he obliged. That's a terrific strike. You've got to give all the credit in the world to
really good strike. The two players withdrawn were Daisen Maeda and Matt O'Reilly, replaced by Lil Abada and David Turnbull, who has got a couple against Motherwell since he went to Celtic. Is that, how much of a sigh of relief is that, Mark? If you're a sub, well, hold on, I'm asking maybe the wrong guy, because I was thinking an attacking sub. They two have been sent on, go and win this game for us, and as you're tying your boots, Celtic score anyway and you go in front, you feel a bit
but it's a different perspective for them now, because the team is 2-1 up, so and don't lose it. Don't drop a runner, don't cost your team at the other side. You know who Hatate reminds me of? I've said it before, Stilian Petrov, seen the strike as well, very similar in the way that they hit the ball and score from outside the box, engine box to box as well, but it's a terrific strike for him.
Liverpool 3, Brighton 2. Hugh, it's a and Adam Webster own goal as well on 63 minutes. Webbo, can't believe he's done that to us.
The kids just need to follow the way I used to do when I went to Anfield.
His granny will buy him a new shirt to compensate. You know, he'll phone up. Tearful conversation with his granny, and she'll buy him another 4 Brighton jerseys.
Louis Moult is ready to come on for Motherwell to try and rescue something here. They have done okay. They've done fine. I think there's sometimes an element of feeling the worst when you go there. So they would have, in a sort of sadistic way, Gordon, you'd have taken 2-1 down at 65 minutes. I don't know, is that the level of expectation?
Yeah. I think you would, Gordon, because you'd everything
defeatist, isn't it? But you know what I mean?
But you'd everything stacked against you. You had the hurt of the St Mirren result, the criticism that's come with it. You're at Celtic Park. Their record shows they don't lose a lot of league games there. They bang in goals for fun. They got a bit of luck when they went in 1-1 at half time. They didn't really create many chances at all. Motherwell, Celtic gifted them a goal. It's a big ask to hold on for an hour 45 minutes, and Hatate just pure brilliance, a great strike. You can't argue
double
with it.
change. So Cornelius and Van Veen off, Louis Moult and Stuart McKinstry on. So you'll remember Stuart McKinstry, academy player at Motherwell, got a great move to Leeds, actually played twice I think for the Leeds first team, and he's come back up on loan, so he's come on. And the last time Motherwell won at Celtic Park, who got the double for Motherwell that day?
Louis Moult.
It was Louis Moult. So he's on to see if he can do something similar. He's had a tough old time since then with injuries and not played a lot of football, but there we go.
Well, you know, the fans would be expecting Celtic to get the third goal that allows them to breathe more easily as well. So Abada, I don't understand, you know, why is Abada not starting matches in Maeda? For me, he's a more dangerous proposition.
Because the manager likes Maeda. That's his go-to guy, and people.
But we saw a little bit of a hint of a change because the Rangers game. You know, if that's your sort of main game, your main team that you go and put out, it was Abada that day that got the nod.
He might just look at the games and decide who the best fit at that time.
Dunfermline 1, Peterhead 0, Reece Breen on 67 minutes. How's your day going? Ryan Strain off for St Mirren with a groin issue 6 minutes before coming on. And he was doubtful before the game apparently.
6 minutes before coming on?
After coming on, sorry. That would be quite something. He's just come on 6 minutes ago, back off.
Well, he was doubtful before the game. Maybe that should go back to the medical team and the decision they made to give it a go. No, very frustrating. I'm pretty sure I've done that a few times in my career.
Fraser must be toiling.
Have you actually?
I've been a doubt and convinced the physio to let us go.
I thought you meant come on and then come off. Injured?
No, I don't think I've done that.
There have been 15 goals scored in the Premiership today. 15 so far. And Fraser's at the one game where
obviously
a Swisher.
Did you hear his half time? Thank goodness it's multi-ball, because if it was a one ball, it's getting battered all day. Otherwise I was laughing.
I don't get to go to many games these days, been stuck in here with you three more often than not, so it was a delight to have the previous Sunday off before the break and go along to Fir Park for that Motherwell Hearts game. But until it started and they lost 3-0 despite dominating lots of the game. Anyway, that happened in that game. I don't know if you'll have noticed, it was Rolando Aarons came on 30 minutes on the clock, went off 47. So that wasn't great either, but he's lasted longer than Ryan. Wishart's been listening.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
St Mirren 1, Livy 0, Keanu Bacchus. It was Ryan Flynn's cross, a header from Bacchus. And what a big goal that could be. A chance for St Mirren to go up into third place, and they will if things stay like that.
Well, that would be a terrific result should it go all the way to 90 minutes 1-0. For Livy, not so good. But for St Mirren, they really cannot be beating Celtic one home game and then not beating Livingston the next. So Stephen Robinson will be well pleased with that.
Amazing how the season pans out, even though it's so early. I mean, Stephen Robinson was coming under fire, wee bit of pressure from the start of the season, the League Cup, and was he the right man? Had they taken him in the right direction? Look at him now. I mean, a couple of great results. I think this is really impressive if he beats Livy. We all know how hard Livy are to play against, but St Mirren, Hugh rightly said there, after Celtic, they had to back it up, especially with a home game. So it's a great scoreline so far.
When's Marcus on next?
Marcus will be raging.
Yeah, good question. Is he on this week? I assume he probably is. But yeah, I don't think he'll be too happy with that. You take it to this stage in the game, and you just wonder if any.
Still time for 11 lines.
Yeah, but the way the game's gone, it sounded like one goal might be enough. But yeah, you're right.
Is Big Marcus still playing? Is he still registered?
No,
is he retired?
Yeah, I think he's hung the boots
through injury. Was it? Don't know.
Old age, lack of
through Davy Norton.
I don't know.
Lack of ability.
I'm throwing out all the possible suggestions, not for a second accusing
I was
that
a
of being
mixture
the
of all
case.
them.
I'd love somebody to say that. How did you retire? Just lack of ability.
The good thing is, it's easy to say that now because you know he's not listening. He can't possibly be,
and he won't listen in the
you wouldn't have
podcast
thought so.
either.
No, I've noticed that. Like everyone when they come in the show, it slowly starts getting under your skin. I noticed he listens quite a bit.
Yeah,
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I know you're a regular listener.
I listen all the time.
Hugh never misses it.
Yeah.
There's only one or two of you that don't bother when you're not on.
My ears are bleeding with it. Podcasts, everything. 6 o'clock, boom, on you go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Take us away.
Sitter from Kyogo. He's at the front post with the header. Kelly's in no man's land, and it somehow goes wide. It maybe comes off his shoulder. It doesn't get the right connection, but either way, he should probably score. And that would have been the points in the bag, you would have to say, for Celtic. But he has missed.
Motherwell in the same situation as the first half. Just they're hanging in, right? They're riding their luck. Of course they are, and you need that at Celtic Park. And you're just hoping.
Any chance that Celtic will chuck another one in?
Maybe it's Taylor's turn this time.
That would be nice for the Steelmen.
But that's what they just need to do. At 2-1, there's still a hope. There's a point there. It's a slim one, but there's still a hope.
Yeah, West Ham. What am I even on about?
Get beat?
No, I was going to mention West Brom because they've conceded to Swansea. Olivier and Cham has scored. Every former Celtic player in the English Championship is scoring. Bonnyrigg Rose 1, Stenhousemuir 3, Matt Yates.
Wheels have come off there at Bonnyrigg. What a start they had,
yeah,
remember?
They were brilliant, weren't
they? What's happened there?
Double change for Livy, Marvin and Davy Martindale making some alterations. Bruce Anderson and Stephen Kelly on. James Penrice, Stefan Omionga go off.
You wouldn't be surprised if Livy actually
Bruce
got an
Anderson
equaliser.
Could be your man for the equaliser.
Every time you think Livy are down and beat, they always scrape themselves back into it.
Right, what we've neglected, Hugh, is the second half teaser because it's tough, so we're going to need to help people out here.
Okay, I have played alongside George Alberts and El Hadj Diouf. I've been managed by Roy Hodgson and Felix Magath. I played at 2 major international tournaments with my country. I also played outfield for 4 clubs in the UK over 12 seasons and didn't score a single goal.
Derek wants to throw in Kishnashvili.
No,
you've just written that down. Let's see your spelling. That's not bad from you, actually.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not. It's not great. No, it's not him. I noticed one of Rangers' other former Georgians, Shotavar Ladze, he's lost his job at Hull. Grant Mitchell. Not that one,
no.
Presumably thinks it's Sotirios Kyriakos.
It's not.
They're all going for the difficult ones to spell. A few have gone for Mark Gavin went for Kishnashvili, to which Aidan Glennie replied, "You surely googled how to spell that."
How do you spell it?
Kishnashvili is by far the most common wrong answer, and I can see where you're coming from, and you're not far off. Okay, Fraser Martin wants to go for Bocanegra.
Nope.
Juan Van Albo thinks it's Fabrice Fernandez.
No.
And Kenny Bowie wants to throw Philippe Senderos in.
No.
Right, keep your guesses coming, Ben. One more go on the question here, remind us.
I have played alongside George Alberts and El Hadj Diouf. I've been managed by Roy Hodgson and Felix Magath. I played at 2 major international tournaments with my country. I also played outfield for 4 clubs in the UK over 12 seasons, but didn't score a single goal.
Okay, get your answers in at Clyde SSB. Let's see, Mark, what's your latest attempt?
I'm gone.
You've gone Colin Hendry. Incidentally, did play. If you want, he played with him as well. Right. Okay. So.
Right.
Stranraer 2, Albion Rovers 1.
You putting that in the
Salim
Google just now?
Kudir Isa has scored. I think he's just been signed by Stranraer, hasn't he? And he's put them in front against Albion Rovers. So still Celtic 2, Motherwell 1. They'll be looking for more of a gap. Hugh, allows you to breathe easier. I'm not saying that they are in any obvious danger, but the first half just showed you what can happen.
Yeah, exactly. While the score is 2-1, no matter the amount of domination that Celtic are enjoying, 2-1 does not guarantee you anything. It only takes a few seconds to score.
Mark Wilson is just continually writing down names of former Blackburn players. And it's not Tugai either. I'm afraid to tell you.
That's how you put it.
Hatate, I think it was, stung the palms of Liam Kelly not too long ago, but nothing doing there. Louis Moltz come on and trying to put himself about, wrestling there with Stephen Welsh a few moments back as well. But still Celtic 2, Motherwell 1. Where else are we poised then? We're definitely poised in Paisley. St Mirren 1, Livy 0. And similarly at Ross County 0, Hibs 1. Poised there, you'd have to say. Dundee United 0, St Johnstone 2. Not hearing much in the way of a Dundee United fight back. And Aberdeen surely home and hosed 4-1 against Kilmarnock up there at Pittodrie.
A great result that for Hibs.
Oh, it's a penalty, Livy.
There you go.
Oh, Jonah Ayunga has been sent off for a handball on the line. Red card. Sean Kelly is going to take, Liam Kelly's brother. We've just been talking about the Motherwell goalie. He is the one that's going to take the penalty. Marvin Bartley and Davy Martindale and everyone else will be willing this one into the back of the net. He's a former St Mirren player as well, is Sean Kelly. Often players come back to haunt you. Will this be the case, or will he miss against his former club? So a real blow for St Mirren, because down to 10 men as well. So if this, and he steps up,
misses
over the bar.
Oh, you don't hear them too often.
By shot.
Over the bar.
Miles over the bar. Glasgow Airport over the bar.
I've seen it come by the window.
The left back.
Well, he plays in midfield a lot these days, but yeah.
I'm sure Marcus took it all philosophically.
Oh, he'll be in some mid.
Oh, we've got another goal as well, and it's in one of the games that we were finally poised.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Hibs were in front through Ryan Porteous, and they've doubled their advantage. It's Martin Boyle makes it 2-0 to Hibs. You would imagine the 3 points comes back down the road with Hibs. The 3 points might just stay in Paisley. They're down to 10 men, but what a let off. Penalty Livy. Sean Kelly blazes it over the bar in front of the Livy fans. Haksabanovic has come on for Kyogo.
Oh, well,
goal for Kyogo. It won't get many easier, but he scored.
When did he last score? I mean, he didn't score in the 4-0 win over Rangers, did he?
Who are you talking
about?
Kyogo.
He scored about
he's in good
40 minutes ago.
No, he means before that, obviously, for goodness sake.
I don't think that was his goal today either.
No, it was. I don't think it crossed the line before he tapped it. And it's gone down as his.
Scored a
Dundee United. He got a hat trick.
Yeah.
So I think that's his. If it indeed does stay as his goal, it was his 7th of the league season. So interestingly, if you are into these things, Abada's now playing through the middle because there is no Giacomakis. So if you are taking Kyogo off, it's going to require a reshuffle. There's always been a school of thought that he's the most likely to go through the middle.
Goals from there.
Yeah, was it? Did he get the goal against Dundee United? Remember late on last season? Was that through the middle where right place, right time? He can do that job. I'm with you. If I was him, and maybe he is knocking the manager's door and saying, what else have I got to do to get ahead of Maeda?
Yeah.
You know, I've scored goals. I contribute.
The point I was making there is he has been ahead of Maeda at times this season. He got the nod in the Rangers game
at times, but you need some consistency.
I don't think he'll be not knocking the door. I think he's quite happy to be
a sub.
No, he's playing a major part in the squad. It is a squad game nowadays, Mark, and I think he's playing a major part in it. And I think that as a young player as well, I think he's getting, experience coming off the bench, experience starting the games, when to go on, when not to start.
Since he joined,
so I think he's getting it right.
Since he joined Celtic in the league, he's started 28 and come on 16. So that's not a guy that's like miles out and only comes on as a sub or whatever.
That's a guy who's playing a big major part in your team.
Maeda wasn't there for the whole time. Yeah, so Maeda came in January. So from January to now, there's no doubt Maeda's definitely be preferred I think, in most of the games over them.
Dundee United needed a goal. Have they got it, or is it a 3-0 to St Johnstone? Let's find out.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
A team and a man who needed a goal, and it's Tony Watt Betch with the first save, then a low finish against one of his former clubs, and maybe, just maybe, it's game on. Dundee United 1, St Johnstone 2.
Well, I'd said earlier on, only scored one since he left Motherwell for Dundee United. There's number 2. It's a lifeline. Now they've got to grab it.
Elgin 3, Annan 1. Motherwell made a double change a few moments ago. Josh Morris and Ross Tierney on in place of Sean Goss and Blair Spittle. Tell me you saw Ross Tierney's goal in training for Republic of Ireland's under 21s. Now I know what you're thinking, you of your generation, a goal in training, who cares? But in the social media age, you put these things on and they get lots of clicks.
I'm just marvelling at you thinking I could see it on the Nokia.
That's true.
Sensational.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, incredible technique. I've seen people describing it as the best training goal ever. It was up there. Fantastic.
Hasn't scored that many in actual game time for Motherwell Hugh since he joined. I think it's 2 off the top of my head. There was one at St Mirren. Was there one against Rangers that went on to not count for much? Ross Tierney, but yeah, if he's doing it in training, maybe his confidence will be high coming on, and an unlikely equaliser as it may be, but that's what's the opportunity for Motherwell to go and grab.
Training ground finisher, that's what I used to call them. No pressure.
Sean Kelly's been hooked after the penalty debacle.
he's not even getting on the team bus, is he? There you go, son, get your boots on, you go.
Andrew Shinnie has come on for Livy as they try and get back into this one. They've got about 10 minutes maybe to go, and St Mirren are down to 10 men, but they've got something to hold on to. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's they'll just pack the defence. They'll have probably 5 at the back, 3 in front of them, probably 4 in front of them. I'm trying to work it out.
By the way, I knew you were going down a blind alley there.
I was going to go the 4-4-1, and I thought they'll change that formation. So 5 at the back. I'm going, many does that leave me? So they'll have a 5-4-0 with a goalkeeper. There you go.
Okay. I think we'll leave that there.
Master tactician. Brilliant.
Ryan Hunter says, just when I said that Sean Kelly's penalty had gone over the bar on the way to Glasgow Airport, at that very moment he heard a plane passing by in Linwood, and he says it was a nice chuckle for a Saturday. Great show, lads. And Elsie says, which is quite right, come on, give these guys the credit they're due. Into the World Championship final against Colombia or Chile on Monday, and it's Scotland's CP, cerebral palsy football team. They've been doing great things, winning and battering every team they've come up against. The latest, I think, was the 5-1 against Japan. One of my school colleagues in there, Jonathan Patterson, one of the goal scorers. They beat Japan 5-1 and into the final against either Colombia or Chile, according to Elsie. So well done to everyone involved there.
Indeed.
Yes. Doing great things, like I say, not only winning games but winning them very well in the process. Right, where are we? Dunfermline 2, Peterhead 0, Nikolai Todorov on 84. Our colleague Stephen Mill will be happy. Looks like 3 points there. Christian Ramirez has come on for Aberdeen, by the way. A well struck drive a moment or two ago that was parried. His first appearance since August the 6th, because you'll remember it looked like he was gone, didn't it? It looked like he would leave, but he's on. What are you two whispering about at the back of the class?
I think we've got I'm trying to convince him that this full-time teaser.
Write it down, show me. You're working.
Oh, I told you.
Who is it?
Henningberg.
Honestly, you're named everybody but him. But the right answer, Partick Thistle 5, Morton 1. Anton Dowds did good things for Arbroath on loan last season, and what a result that is. Hugh! Liverpool 3, Brighton 3. Leandro Trossard with the hat-trick. The Seagulls fly again.
Told you. Biggest team in England get a draw at Anfield and soften up Liverpool for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
The grandkids will be loving that, What a game to pick.
You'll phone their granny again. Happy this time. She'll still buy them 4 new Brighton jersey.
United now pushing for an equaliser. It looked like a long way off.
You still a big fan? Mark?
Oh, of course. You never lose it.
Follows
Do
them
you not?
everywhere.
No. I do.
Do you look at the Bristol result, Dumbarton
Definitely
result,
not. No.
Brecon result,
No.
Airdrie result?
To laugh.
What do you mean?
To
Top of the
laugh.
Highland League.
Yeah,
well done.
you listen. You
I didn't
got 'em there.
contribute to that.
You
I had
were a
three
massive-
games.
Listen,
Three games. I'm
you
going to stand my
You were
ground.
a boat away from
3 games, and then
going there. You know that.
the
Mark.
big change was in, and all sorts
You,
of.
you
Craig
certainly,
Levine
you
was in
certainly
there
lived
as
up to
well.
that
And
old cliche: get us out the league.
I'll get us
Not
in this
the-
League One.
not
We
the
have
Highland
another
one.
Kelty 1, Airdrie 0. Alfredo Aguiman is struck late. That could be the winner there. Elgin are comfortable 4-1 now against Annan. A Kane Hester hat-trick there, and that one. So we're now very much late drama territory in the Premiership. The one that would send the loudest reverberations would clearly be Celtic Park. If Motherwell could get an unlikely equaliser, it is still only 2-1. Dundee United, a chance for them. Similarly, they're 2-1 down at home to St Johnstone. St Mirren down to 10 men, 1-0 up at home to Livy. The only ones that you would say are done. Oh, hold on, this is a big goal.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Oh wow, it's all happening. Livy have scored to equalise against St Mirren, and Callum McGregor's been sent off for Celtic. Now, last night we had calls saying this guy plays too much football, he needs rested, he's going to burn out. Played all 3 games for Scotland. With a couple of minutes to go at Celtic Park and Celtic are winning, he's been sent off. The old in old money, last man tackle. It's not called that. It's denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. DOGSO, the refs say, Gordon. They did a wee abbreviation.
Is that how it's called?
I thought you'd know that in your refereeing
DOGSO.
pals.
DOGSO.
Denying obvious goal scoring
Scoring
opportunity. Ross Tierney was running through, Callum McGregor pulled him down, and he's been sent off.
It shows you just how much of a struggle it's been for Celtic today.
Sorry, Louis Moult, but it doesn't matter. It's
But
same.
the captain is in the position where he has to take that hit for the team. Celtic have clearly not played anything like their best, missed chances, been in front twice on their own ground but not yet out of the woods, and the captain has been forced into that position where he's been sent off.
And Celtic are going to readjust. Abildgaard and Moy coming on for the closing minutes. Is that a debut then for Oliver Abildgaard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
think
missed
so.
that, have I? Aaron Moy as well. So the midfield's going to be reshuffled. David Turnbull would be the most attacking then of the ones left on, you would imagine. So yeah, interesting into the game.
Yeah.
Anyone have a Callum McGregor straight red card on their
No,
predictor
didn't
sheet?
have that.
I mean, when was the last
Celtic-
time he was sent off?
Yeah.
Sent off against Rangers.
Rangers,
remember?
yeah.
I think they'll just be happy to get the 3 points and move on again.
Which wasn't that long ago, but for him it's about 300 appearances ago. But there we are, Hatate and Jota off. Celtic will perhaps argue, because you always do, that Stephen Welsh was coming on the cover, but I don't think Callum McGregor's too upset with the decision. He looks, I think, more upset with his teammates that they left him in that situation.
Hatate, bad
Yeah,
ball.
and do you know what? Joe Hart was starting to come out as well, Gordon. And by the way, just because Stephen Welsh might get close, that doesn't mean it's not denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. It's worth bearing that in mind. We always fall into that trap.
You do. I think, I don't know if Welsh is getting there. I think if the touch is straight, Welsh isn't getting there. And
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'll take that on board. But I'll tell you what, I think you're right, Gordon. I think McGregor will be fuming with Hatate. He doesn't even look. His head's on the ball and he plays that pass, and all of a sudden McGregor has to make that
5 minutes
challenge.
added at Celtic Park. I don't think anyone had a nervy finish in mind from a Celtic perspective, but that could be the case. They're down to 10 men, and Motherwell can throw everything, Mark. You lose 2-1 or 3-1, who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. You pack that box, you put balls on top of the back line with Stephen Welsh, and he ends in there and hope something falls for you, like it did for the first goal.
I don't know if just before he got subbed, Kevin Van Veen took a knock to the back. I don't know if that was part of it, but you wonder now. Stevie Hamill would have loved both them on. Moult and Van Veen just bombard it and try and make life really difficult for Celtic in the closing stages. But what about the Livy goal? We haven't reflected on that.
Huge goal. I did say that you always the feeling that Livy will scratch their way back into it. You obviously think that they've missed their best opportunity with the penalty, but never down for long, Livy, are they?
No,
Just
they've
find a way.
got great fight,
Great spirit.
and 11v10 as well gives them a little bit of hope, a little bit of
Hold on.
Oh no, maybe
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvement.
10-man St Mirren have snatched it at the end, and it's Alex Grieve. Manager Stephen Robinson saying, where has he been? He was late coming back from international duty, barely made it back in time to train, and he has snatched it at the death for St Mirren. 2-1 at home against Livy, but St Mirren have been down to 10 men. Livy have missed a penalty, they got level, and Alex Grieve has popped up with what could be the winner.
Well, they are down for long now,
they've
because they're not coming back for that.
Aye, they've not got much of spirit.
What a game, Hugh Keevins.
Well, great for Stephen Robinson, great for Fraser, who belatedly got all sorts of entertainment. I look forward to hearing his report at the full-time whistle. But best of all, St Mirren have not failed to take advantage of their win over Celtic.
Up to third as well. Let's round this off, Hugh, if we can.
The second half teaser.
With the scottishsun.co.uk/football for the best football news and opinion online.
I have played alongside George Alberts and El Hadj Diouf, been managed by Roy Hodgson and Felix Magath, played at 2 major international tournaments with my country, and played outfield for 4 clubs in the UK over 12 seasons, but did not score a single goal. I am Stefan Honcho.
Honcho. Peter Gray, well done, Peter. You were third fastest. Darren Hodgson second place, and Calcio 1872 the winner there. So very, very well done to everyone involved. Loads of right answers as well, absolutely loads of them. Let's go to Dingwall. It's finished. Roger Hannah.
It's finished. Ross County 0, Hibernia in 2. He was a Scotland star on Tuesday. He's a Hibs hero on Saturday. Ryan Porteous led his side by example. He scored the opening goal just a minute into the second half. He protected a clean sheet against County, and he saw his teammate Martin Boyle seal the points just 10 minutes from time as Hibs go above Hearts in the Premiership to 4th place. It was really a deserved victory for Johnson's side. They bossed it from start to finish. Josh Campbell might have had them ahead inside the first minute with a shot that was deflected wide of the post. Porteous twice tried from distance, first with a free kick that flew off target, then with a 30-yarder that Ross Laidlaw in the County goal had to tip away, but he wasn't to be denied that first goal of the season. And just a few seconds after the break, and Hibs' first attack after the break, Joe Newell threw the ball and a long throw from the left. It was flicked on, I think, by Paul Hanlon at the near post. The County defence just couldn't get rid of it, and there was Porteous to see a left foot shot past Laidlaw inside the far post. After that, it was just a question of when Hibs would score the second goal. Boyle went close, so did Mikola Kucherevich, so did Marian Cabrera, and the goal finally came after 80 minutes. Chris Cadden making progress down the right hand side, a ball into the box, and there was Boyle, a man sent off on his last trip to Dingwall. He was unmarked at the far post. He took a touch to tame the ball and steered a right foot shot past Laidlaw for the clincher. No more than Hibs deserve. They were outstanding today, and so was Porteous. Ross County 0, Hibernian 2.
Full time Celtic Park. Andrew McLean.
Celtic 2, Motherwell 1, the full-time score here. Ange Postecoglou's side moved back to the top of the table with Real Hatate rescuing the points after a crazy Josip Juranovic own goal. Celtic bright in the early stages. They broke into the box a few times and opened the scoring 16 minutes in. Jota's cross found Matt O'Reilly. It was a close range header. It was pretty powerful as well. Liam Kelly did his best to try and keep it out. It was bouncing on the line. It was maybe going to roll in anyway, but Kyogo slid in, and it will be him that is credited with the goal for 1-0. Callum McGregor then fired over before Josip Juranovic rattled the crossbar from a really powerful free kick. Juranovic was then central to that crazy own goal that levelled things up. Juranovic attempting to chest the ball back to Joe Hart. Clear miscommunication between the two. Hart wasn't where Juranovic thought he'd be. The ball trickled over the line. Joe Hart tried his best to scoop it back over the line, but could not do it, and it was 1-1 at that point. Celtic almost back ahead right before the break. Real Hatate hitting the post from 25 yards out. Kyogo rushed in with a follow-up header, but that one went just wide. Celtic continued to dominate the ball after the break, but you wouldn't say they were peppering Liam Kelly's goal. They kept knocking on the door though. Ange Postecoglou was readying his changes on the 64th minute, but that's when they got their second goal. Reo Hatate, he had plenty of moments of quality this afternoon, and this one was the best. A really nice strike from the edge of the box into the bottom corner to restore their lead. Motherwell didn't create much as they tried to get back into it, and Celtic could have extended their lead. Kyogo with a relatively simple looking headed chance at the front post, but he put that one wide, and there was time for late drama as well. Celtic captain Callum McGregor sent off a straight red card. They were exposed at the back after a slack pass. Ross Tierney breaking through on goal towards the box. Callum McGregor felt he just had to haul him down and take one for the team at that point. Straight red card, but Celtic back to the top of the table. The full time score here, Celtic 2, Motherwell 1.
It's also finished Pittodrie, Dave Galloway.
Yep, entertaining stuff here at Sundrents. Pittodrie, Aberdeen 4, Kilmarnock 1. Both sides were playing some decent football in the first half, but neither keeper was being troubled. However, that changed with 3 goals in quick succession. Aberdeen went ahead after 22 minutes. Hayes attacked down the left from his cross. Taylor's clearance was pounced upon by Bisawin, who drilled the ball home. It was 2-0 on 24 minutes. Hemmings brought down Majowski. He dusted himself down and sent the keeper the wrong way from the penalty spot, but slack defending allowed the visitors to pull one back only 3 minutes later from a corner kick. Ex-Don Taylor, unmarked, guided his header into the net. The end-to-end action continued. Shaw missed a great chance to equalise for Kilmarnock following Taylor's long throw, and Aberdeen's Majowski wasn't far away with a turn and shot from just outside the box that flew over. The home team made it 3-1 almost on the half-time whistle. Majowski with a close-range dink after Hemmings' initial block. Kelly started the second half very well and missed another big chance. Doidge seized upon a ruse mistake, but Polworth couldn't convert, and the ball was eventually cleared for a corner kick. They paid for that when the home team made it 4-1 after 63 minutes. Stewart pretty much unchallenged to score with a close-range diving header from a corner. The Dons cruised through the rest of the match, and forgotten man Christian Ramirez even came on for his first appearance since August the 6th, and then he went close with a rasping drive that Hemmings parried away to safety. Watched by a crowd of 16,348, and it's finished Aberdeen 4, Kilmarnock 1.
It's also finished at Tannadice, David Friel.
Full time, Gordon and Dundee United 1, St Johnstone 2. St Johnstone are celebrating a big away win in the Tayside derby, but for new Dundee United manager Liam Fox, this was the start to his reign that he didn't want. Fox was desperate for a win, but instead United couldn't do enough, and they remain rock bottom of the league with just 2 points from 8 games. St Johnstone took the lead in 15 minutes. United eventually really posted missing. Andy Considine played a long ball over the top. Stevie May ran clean through in goal. There was still a lot of work to be done, but to be fair, Stevie May stayed calm and lifted his finish over Karl Johan Eriksson. United didn't really create much, but Stephen Fletcher did have a head on target. Stevie May, he was in the right place at the right time to clear off the line for St Johnstone, and then May made another impact up the other end in 40 minutes with a brilliant low cross from Milka Hallberg to make it 2-0 with a low finish. United were fired up after the break. Ian Hart's went into the book after a few seconds after the restart. But they weren't able to carve out many clear-cut chances. Stephen Fletcher went off injured again, but his replacement Tony Watt did pull one back in 82 minutes as United finished strong. Remy Matthews made a good save from Aziz Behic, but Watt was in the right place at the right time to finish with his left foot. United pushed hard for the equaliser. They had corners, they had free kicks, but the equaliser never came, and Fox and his players were booed off at the end. It was the start he didn't want, but a big win for St Johnstone. Full time, Dundee United 1, St Johnstone 2.
The drama was all in Paisley. Fraser Wishart, how did it finish?
It finished St Mirren 2, Livingston 1, and you're right, the drama was here, but it took a long time to get going. It was ended up dramatic in the last half an hour. The best moments coming in that second half. Goals from Keanu Bacchus and a 90th minute Alex Grieve goal winning the points. Bruce Anderson goal in between looked like giving Livy the points. Poor quality first half, pretty much to gloss over it. The only chance really came a missed kick by Charles Dunn let Livy midfielder Scott Pittman through. His weak left foot shot was saved by the legs of Carson. Got to keep a credit, but he should have scored. And a bright start to the second half from Livy. Bahambula got to the byline, low cross kicked away by Carson, set up a spell of pressure. Obalaya then missed an absolute sitter from a Sean Kelly free kick. He headed wide at the back post when he should have scored. But all in all, little improvement in the game, but the substitutions by both managers had a huge impact on the game. Stephen Robson started it with Grieve and Strain on Gogic and Kilty Austrian, then limped off 6 minutes later, replaced by Ryan Flynn, who set up both goals for St Mirren. Made an immediate impact, simple goal, cross to the right hand side from Flynn, late run by Bacchus, and he timed his run perfectly, then got a good header from 8 yards low into the net to Shamal Georgie's right. Libby threw on Stephen Kelly and Bruce Anderson, positive substitution, and Kelly was immediately involved in 77 minutes. His goal-bound shot was punched away on the line by Jonah Ayunga. Red card for the St Mirren striker. Definite penalty kick. Up stepped ex-Saints defender Sean Kelly, and he blazed the ball miles over the bar. For the rest of the game, Saints were really in the back foot, sitting in, trying to get up the park on the break. But in the 80th minute came the equaliser, and another sub having an impact. Joel Newbley on the left-hand side drove in across with his left foot, and Bruce Anderson, the substitute, did really well to hold off Dunn to score with a header from 6 yards. Scott Tanser then saw his dipping 25-yard free kick tipped over the bar by Shamal George at full stretch, and then that had an impact on the equaliser, because from that corner in the final minute of the 90, sub Flynn with the corner headed down by another sub, Joe Shaughnessy, into the 6-yard box. Really good control, turn and shot high into net by the third substitute, Alex Grieve, who scored the winner. And then just as Saints fans were looking at the clock, Bruce Anderson almost equalised the last kick of the game. 18-yard volley with his left foot, hit it really well. It was inches wide, with Trevor Carson scrambling across his goal full length. So 5 wins for the last 6 games for Saints. They are into third place in the league. Saints fans won't care about the performance. It wasn't great. They were absolutely delighted at the end. Full time here, St Mirren 2, Livingston 1.
Wow, what a day of Premiership football. You were all starved of it for a couple of weeks, and it has delivered. Have we been everywhere? Have we been to Pittodrie? Did we hear from Dave Galloway? We did. I think we've done it all. So now it is over to you. 0141 951 1025. What did you make of it today? Rangers fans, you must be delighted, because performances maybe haven't been brilliant this season. It's supposedly a tough place to go, and you win 4-0. So what impressed you the most? What stood out for you? What about the big talking points? How does it set you up for Tuesday night? Pick up the phone, please, and let us know. Celtic fans, you'll be back in the car just now. You've had your impressive performances this season. Maybe this one was a bit more nervy, maybe a bit more like scraping by. Let us know how you saw it. 0141 951 1025. St Mirren fans, are you now the third force in Scottish football? Pick up the phone and talk to us. We will speak to you next.
Football opens doors to skills that last a lifetime. 1 minute your heart's pounding as you take that penalty. Next minute you've smashed it, and your confidence grows with every shot. And you can take that self-belief anywhere, like presenting to the entire school. Football teaches everything from confidence to teamwork and leadership. That's why the Barclays Community Football Fund is giving grants to community sports groups who need it most in London. Find out more at home.barclays/football fund. Barclays, it's all to play for.